It is Rams Super Bowl champion DeMarco Farr and Sweet Tea Travis Rogers. Let's do it, the DeMarco and Travis Afternoon Show on this Friday, the 9th of January. The No Stress Sports Talk Express is on. One day before the Rams battle in Carolina. Rams-Panthers wild card Saturday tomorrow. DeMarco Farr's not here. He's on the plane, getting ready for kickoff. He'll be part of our coverage tomorrow all day on Rams game day. Andy Kamenetsky's here. Travis, you know what movie Andy likes, right? You know.
Shut up, Bill. You're embarrassing me.
Yeah, little Bill, shut up.
Meanwhile, Travis Rogers is getting ready for tomorrow. We've got a very special day at Hollywood Park Casino. Go to ESPNLA.com and make your reservation to be with us at Hollywood Park Casino. Oh, Sua Kravitz, Travis Rogers, and me, Chris Morales. Starts at 11:30 a.m. We've got pregame, postgame, halftime, and yes, we're watching the game with you. So if you've ever dreamt of watching a game with Travis Rogers, sign up right now at ESPNLA.com to join us tomorrow at Hollywood Park Casino. Right now, though, producer Laura's here, producer D, Young D, and you, the DeMarco and Travis Afternoon Show. Your Friday afternoon right now.
Yeah! Poor little Bill. Poor
man.
little Bill. Little Bill got a bad deal.
Yeah, he sure showed them all at the end.
Well, I mean, I guess.
He made his point.
He made a very dramatic exit.
Yeah,
Indeed, he
they
did.
for a guy that seemed very forgotten
Yeah.
throughout his time with this circle,
Yes.
they sure remembered him at the end.
Now he hangs at the end of the hallway for in perpetuity or until
In Jack Horner's
sells the
house.
house. Yeah, and Jack's estate goes up for auction.
I'm pretty sure that house, the Boogie Nights house we're referring to, I'm pretty sure it has been up for sale before.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, something on Instagram popped up the other day where they were showing all of these famous movie houses, and I know there's a ton of them around L.A., but exclusively in the Valley. And Boogie Nights, the Brady Bunch, there were just so many of them along the way. It's maybe we put together a little collective, Andy. We try to go buy the Boogie Nights house. Morales can chip in.
Morales would actually probably pay the lion's share,
Yeah.
so he could have control of the house.
He'd move in. He
Yes.
would be having the blender out in the back going, I asked you first. Absolutely. Have you guys, Laura, I'm going to guess yes for you, and DeAndre, I'm going to guess no for you. Have you seen Boogie Nights?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. So are you a fan, Laura?
I liked it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like, ooh, I'm going to seek it out, but I've seen it a few times.
Okay. So do you like it because it's a well-produced, directed, written piece of cinema, or do you like it like I like it because it's hilarious?
I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
I think it's both.
It is both. It is both. But if you said to me, there are other really wonderfully put together movies that I have no interest in, I have an interest in that one because it's outrageous and funny.
My friend so the first time we saw it, my friend was super stoned, like ridiculously stoned. And all he did was like literally this weird laugh. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's funny, but not everything. But it was like, so the second time I saw it, I'm like, oh, it's actually funnier without the high person. Right
And
there.
it's like The Sopranos. There aren't jokes. It's just funny because of what they say to each other.
Well, like the scene with the drug deal gone wrong, Alfred Molina's cameo, like one of the greatest cameos in recent film history.
Cosmo.
Yeah, it's Cosmo. But what is so great about that scene? It's this drug deal that goes bad, and as it's going on,
everybody's on drugs.
Everyone's on drugs, and there's indoor fireworks going on. As this scene gets more and more tense, because you're like, okay, something bad is about to happen, and it does. The more tense this scene gets, the funnier it gets.
Yes.
And
yes.
I don't know if I've ever seen a scene like that before, where as you get more and more nervous and frightened for these people, it gets funnier and funnier.
Okay, so I did this off mic with DeAndre. I'm like, imagine your friend, who, by the way, super tiny person, love him, but still, all he does is, so just imagine that scene and that laugh.
No, that would ratchet up the tension.
No.
That's my Mr. Belding. I like that.
That's a better laugh, though.
I remember when I was in high school. Do you remember the movie Beaches with Bette Midler and Barbara Hershey?
I know that's the movie, and they're in it. That's the extent. And there's a Seinfeld scene in it.
Well, and there's also, that's where the song Wind Beneath My Wings comes. Did you ever know that?
Sure.
I don't know how, but I was in high school, and I had heard that this movie was a comedy.
Oh, no. Okay, so not quite on that degree, but Susan and I watched Roof Man over the break, the Channing Tatum movie.
Yeah, and Kirsten Dunst.
I don't know why I thought so. I thought that was going to be a comedy. It's not.
Oh, I heard it was a comedy.
It is decidedly not.
Okay.
It is really heavy.
Okay, I had heard that Beaches was a comedy, and it is not. It is like this very female-driven melodrama. So I remember my friend Dave and I in high school, we were meeting with this group of girls that we're friends with. They picked the movie. We're going to see Beaches or whatever. I had heard that this movie was a comedy. So Dave and I got super high before we saw Beaches because we thought that would, enhance how it's funny. Turns out the movie's not funny at all. It's super serious.
Doesn't somebody die in that movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Barbara Hershey dies. But the more and more melodramatic this movie got, the funnier we found it. So it culminates with Barbara Hershey in the hospital with like tubes up her nose, and I lose it. I absolutely lose it, and the girls made us leave the theater.
I could just see like, what is the matter with those two? Why are they?
They were livid at us.
I like it. They're like, just maybe go online and read a Rotten Tomatoes review before you decide to gummy up before you go into a movie for sure.
See, I'm kind of sad now because I was looking forward to watching Roofman and it being a comedy.
It's not.
I'm still going to check it out.
It's been marketed as a comedy.
It's good. I liked it. There are funny scenes here and there, but it's not only it's dark. It is. I think you'd like it, but it is.
You dropped the ball on that one.
It's not a popcorn movie at all. It is a damn kind of movie. Like a few times, you're like, ooh, that's not good. It's there's some funny scenes. So I did like it. Are you wearing a Marlins hat today, DeAndre?
I am wearing a Marlins hat.
Just because it matched your sweatshirt,
yep,
or what are we doing here?
Just because it matches the sweatshirt.
Maybe
Does
you're
it?
like
Let me
a
see.
Charlie Huff throwback fan or something. I don't know. I was trying to think of the most retro Marlin I could think of. Orestes Destrada. I'd never heard of anybody named Orestes, and that's him.
I'm trying to think of an old school Marlin.
Jeff Conine.
He was sort of the prototype Marlin for a while.
That's when the expansion teams were all weird, where everyone would just kind of put their older players that were still decent, but not like all-star level decent, and that's how you made teams.
I loved Ichiro during his Hall of Fame speech where, what did he say, like they offered me a Marlins contract, and he's like, that's not a real team.
Yeah, I didn't know who it was, and then I saw it, and I said, let's do it. All right, so the Rams are going to kick off Wild Card Weekend tomorrow in Charlotte. It's supposed to be wet. It is the biggest game on the board spread-wise, and I think the Rams are going to win by 1 million, but the more I say that, the more worried I get about it. Should I be concerned? We're going to get into all of that. Happy Friday to everybody here. DeMarco and Trav. Andy's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
Join DeMarco and Sua Cravens live Wednesday, January 14th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Sleep Number in Torrance on the PCH. You can win tickets to the next Rams game at SoFi, a signed Matthew Stafford jersey. Oh, Matthew. Or a Kyron Williams jersey. And you get to hang out with Rams Super Bowl champion DeMarco Farr, powered by Sleep Number, Sleep Next Level, Perform Next Level.
Mornings in L.A. will never be the same.
But I want to start with the Rams real quick. So in the break, they start playing Eminence front, right? Again, I'm in section 205, so I'm down in the end zone. I just stood up, just started playing my bass, just slapping that thing. Yeah. And people around me were like, yo, Cap, what's up? And I'm like, bing, ba-dum-bum. Yeah, and people around me, ding, da-dum-bum, doom, be-dum-bum. Yeah.
The Sedano and Cap Morning Show, weekdays starting at 7 a.m. on ESPN LA.
If you've been thinking about selling your home and you've heard about Seller's Advantage on the radio or seen them around town, you might be a little skeptical, wondering if they're just another shady company trying to take advantage. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Seller's Advantage has been buying homes from sellers in Southern California for over 20 years. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and there's a reason they have some of the best reviews in town. Seller's Advantage will make you a competitive cash offer that can match what you'd end up with after paying for expensive repairs and agent commissions without the hassle of listing your home. Plus, they take pride in buying on your terms. If you want to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage for a no-obligation offer. 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-2700. 2747. Or, better yet, go to their website, sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
For a century, the Genesis Invitational has stood as one of golf's greatest stages, where the game's legends make their mark and history is written.
It's official. The round that will long be remembered. Oh, yes! Ludwig Oberg.
February 19th through 22nd, celebrate 100 years of championship golf. Experience the drama, the tradition, and the moments that define the Genesis Invitational. Get your tickets now at genesisinvitational.com.
Coverage and content of the 2026 college football playoffs on ESPN LA is presented by Pechanga Resort Casino. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino. See for yourself what made readers of Newsweek and USA Today named Pechanga the best casino outside of Las Vegas. Visit Pechanga.com for more information.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Mason and Ireland, the OGs of LA sports talk.
I trained my chat GPT to address me as Mace, M-A-S-E, Mace. Okay. When I put a message, please refer to me as Mace.
You're good enough. You're strong enough.
Yes.
And gosh darn it,
people like me.
People like you.
Mason and Ireland, weekdays at noon on 710 ESPN, the ESPN LA app, and on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles. You're listening to the DeMarco and Travis Afternoon Show on 710.
Do your ears work?
They do work. No,
Back to DeMarco and Travis.
Okay. So, Reese, our guy Reese, he does a lot of stuff for us in the back of our social media.
Right.
He came in and said what's up to me and Laura. Just, hey, how's it going? How you guys doing? Just checking in. Then he said something really, really interesting that threw me and Laura off.
Oh, my God. It was wild.
I'm not going to lie to you. He has to come in studio and explain what he said.
All right, Reese, get in here. Come on in here. And am I going to be weirded out by this, or is it just
no?
Like,
I don't think you'd be weirded out, but you might be like,
no, it's weird.
You know, Reese, just before you hop on the mic here, I am a staunch defender of Reese. And Reese has taken some heat for other things on this show, and I've always had your back. He gives me my 500 yen coin when I call games, so I hope you
What
don't
has Reese
disappoint me
taken heat for lately?
Well, who called you a serial killer at some
Morales.
point?
It was Morales.
That doesn't really.
I mean, you do kind of have the look.
What?
We're gonna stop that. We're gonna stop doing that.
He doesn't like
What
anything.
did you do? What did you do?
Okay, I was just I got in. I went to the bathroom. John Ireland walks in, and we start having a full blown conversation while we're both at the urinals.
Okay.
And I tell that to DeAndre, and he's like, "Nah." I'm like,
It's
I
weird.
Personally, I don't like having a conversation while I'm at the urinal, but like, it's a privilege to talk to John Ireland. So I'm gonna talk
take
to him.
advantage of
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna take advantage. I was just telling him, "Oh, this is my first Giannis game." Like, he's like, "Oh, are you gonna go to the game tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be there." He's like, "Oh, Giannis he's something else, man." I'm like, "Yeah, he's breaking down like he can make it to the basket in 4 steps. Me or you would take 12, like breaking everything down." And I'm like, having a full blown conversation.
Here's where I'm going to defend Reese.
I didn't hear a single weird thing.
Okay,
But I mean,
really?
just
no.
But just in terms of, yes, that is considered kind of awkward. I know there are people who feel like that wall dividing the urinals should be something that creates like two safe spaces.
The fortress of solitudes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
In Reese's case, and I hope you don't take offense to this, but I think you'll understand what I mean. John Ireland is something of an authority figure to Reese at this place. Like, he's John Ireland.
Sure.
He and Mace are like the mainstays of this station. They've won Bob Miller awards. Like, they've been feted in this city.
Yes.
I don't think Reese would feel comfortable turning down the conversation with John Ireland, even at a urinal. Like, from a career preservation perspective, it might feel like a bad move. Am I correct about this?
Exactly. Like, I was going to have, I think a more awkward part of it, too, that I didn't mention yet, is that I finished before him, so I'm just standing there while he's still peeing.
Oh, you didn't turn around and go to the sink?
I was trying to, but he kept talking, and I didn't want to turn away from him.
See?
So.
Okay, that's a little weird.
That's weird.
That part is awkward. But okay, I think
You
that
shouldn't have admitted to that.
There are some personal space issues that everybody has that are a little different, right? I'll chop it up with you at the urinal as much as you want. Where it gets weird is when you're in the other portion of the bathroom and there's the wall and you're seated when people want to have a conversation. I need to concentrate. I need to lock in on that.
Travis.
But if we're just going to sit there and stand and talk, we're going to look straight ahead. We're not going to look at each other. And when I'm done, whether ahead of you or behind you, Reese, I'm going to go to the sink and start washing my hands. We can continue to chit-chat with another. I'm on your side on this one. You're all right. Just next time, finish up and go wash your hands.
From Reese's perspective, like, to defend the standing at the urinal until John is also done, if Reese turns around and goes to the sink and John interprets that as shining him, like that,
But no, as long as they continue to talk.
But John, okay, in Reese's mind, like the megalomaniac version of John, could see this as Reese trying to get out of the bathroom and trying to get out of this conversation with John Ireland.
If Reese ran out the door, then that would be awkward. But if you just turn around and wash your hands, I think you're good.
I'm just saying I get where he's coming from. I do.
We're both on his side. Look, if you and I walked in there and if we were having a conversation prepping and we both felt the call of nature to go down there, we could take. I wouldn't stop while we're both, taking care of what we need to. We just,
This is such a guy thing. Because, see, like, for us as women, we have stalls. We have the actual walls, right? So the only people I've ever had conversations with in a restroom are my friends. Like, you're a little drunk. You go to the restroom together, whatever. It's very different. Here at work, there's a few stalls. And my rule of thumb is always, I go to the first one. I go to the last one. I always, like, you see that the doors are open.
That.
So you just take, my thing is, as women, I always feel like courtesy. You take this one, you take a few down because there's empty ones.
Yeah.
My thing is when the person just goes and sits on the next one.
That's the same.
That's weird.
The
That's the
exact
same thing for you guys.
Urinal etiquette.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
So weird.
There's only two. There is no option. There is no.
Oh, you guys
space.
only have two there?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's only two. There's two stalls. There's two urinals. So you're next to the other person. I have a question for you, D. If you were there and I walked in and I started chatting you up, standing next to you, you would be uncomfortable by that?
Low key, yeah. I just like to get in there. Yeah. I like to get in there, do my business, wash my hands.
All right.
I'm out.
Now I know.
I'm out.
I will leave you alone and I will engage Reese in conversation.
It's for DeAndre. It's for DeAndre. Like if you encounter Emily at an elevator,
yeah, okay.
You give her the elevator space to herself.
She's
Emily,
come around. Emily will chat me up in an elevator.
Really?
Now. Yes. I mean, she's not,
She's not pressing the button to go up?
No. Before she would close the door in my face. Now she's at least willing to hold the door for me and say good morning. Yeah, that's a flat out conversation at this point.
Did I tell you one time I showed up here and as I was at the elevator and this woman walks into the lobby who I'm telling you is Emily's twin.
Okay.
From a distance. Like they're like the same height, same glasses. She dresses like
Reese
Emily.
is happy walking away from the two of us, but he will not leave John Ireland standing
in
at the urinal.
Well,
but in the middle of a radio segment, he will
He's
get
like,
up
I'm
and
out.
walk away.
Yeah,
like,
I'm good.
Your
I'm
level,
good.
your threshold for these things is hard to determine, Reese.
I don't want to overstay my welcome.
You're welcome
that's
to stay
all.
as long as you'd like.
Okay.
Yes.
But like
End of the segment, baby
from
boy.
a distance, I thought this was Emily.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I don't know what to do as I'm waiting for this elevator because I know she doesn't want to get in it with anybody.
Right.
Do I hold it for her? Do I let it pass? Do I give it to her? It turns out it wasn't Emily.
Yeah.
And this woman rode up with me.
Well, now I do. Emily is comfortable riding elevators with me now. But before, even when she wasn't, I would do it just to make her uncomfortable because I thought that was funny. Reese, you're free to go. Feel free to move about the rest of the studio as you see fit.
How perfect are Emily and Mason for each other? Because you guys know Mason doesn't like to ride the elevator after a show with anybody.
I did not know that.
Oh, so yes. So
Yeah.
I learned that. I thought it was a joke. Like, oh, don't ride with me because I want to just kind of decompress. And it was, like sometimes the elevators here are out of service. So it's just one or the next one takes forever. So I'm, we're both waiting, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give him his space, whatever. And he was like, he kind of looked at me like, you can come in, but I wasn't sure what to do. But I went in because I'm like, man, I'm not gonna wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Nothing. Silence.
That's okay.
Which is fine.
Okay.
But then I found out that it wasn't a joke. And I was like, oh, so yeah, you just let him ride down the elevator by himself.
You just got to take that moment where you're about to, like when you come through the door after a long day, here we go. And then the conversation starts and you're like, hey, how you doing? Thankfully, I have a nice long drive to I get my quiet time along the way. Rams in Charlotte, heavy favorites. I don't even want to ask what if, but what if? That's coming up next. Andy's in for DeMarco. DeMarco and Trav, 710 ESPN.
Your Lakers, your season, your home.
Tonight, after a 2-game swing away from L.A., the Purple and Gold return to L.A. Live and are ready to protect their home floor as the Bucks come to town.
Alley-oop to LeBron. Slam dunk. What a pass by Luka.
L.A. Lakers, Milwaukee Bucks from Crypto.com Arena. Coverage begins tonight at 6 p.m.
The Lake Show lives here. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Laker fans know when the shot's open, you take it. That's why National University helps busy students drive the lane on their goals. Flexible online classes, whole team support. Juggle your job, your life, and keep driving toward your degree. National University, official higher education sponsor of the 17-time champion LA Lakers. Take your shot and learn more at nu.edu. That's nu.edu.
At Normand Legal, we don't sit on the sidelines. We fight to win for you.
If you've been in an accident, car, motorcycle, truck, or a fall, don't wait. Call Normand Legal right now.
We've helped thousands recover millions in settlements and verdicts, and we'll go full throttle to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Pick up that phone and call 213-747-1234. That's 213-747-1234.
Or visit normandlegal.com. Normand Legal, the winning team fighting for you.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
Yo, real talk, real sports, real LA. Yo, what's up? It's Will I Am, and you're locked into DeMarco and Travis on ESPN LA.
Afternoons with DeMarco and Travis rolls on. Back to the guys.
Just breaking down bath and etiquette here on DeMarco and Trav. Andy's in for DeMarco today. DeMarco is on his way to Charlotte. The Rams and the Panthers tomorrow kick off at 1:30. We got the pregame show for you live from Hollywood Park Casino. I'm going to be there. Sue is going to be there. Morales is going to be there. We're going to watch the game with all you guys, do pre-half and post from HPC tomorrow. And the Rams are heavy favorites. Heavy favorites. 10.5-point favorites, despite being the road team, despite the fact that they've already lost to the the Carolina Panthers in Carolina early this season under weather conditions that are going to be fairly similar to what we might get tomorrow. I think the Rams are not just better than Carolina. I think they're a lot better than Carolina. Am I overvaluing it, Andy? Because the Rams played about as poorly as they could. Matthew Stafford threw a couple interceptions. One of them was a pick six. He had a bad fumble. Bryce Young hit a couple of, I don't know if I'd say miracle fourth down conversions, but very fortunate fourth down conversions for touchdowns. And they still was a tight game late in the fourth quarter.
To your point about whether or not it was a miracle stuff from Bryce Young, it was pretty high-end perfect. Earlier in the week when I was on with John, we played a clip of Manuel Acho talking about the ways that he thought the Panthers could upset the Rams and, like, what needed to be replicated.
Mm-hmm.
His formula was basically be dead-ass perfect. Like, that was, I mean, and I don't say that to be dismissive of Acho. I'm just saying his formula was basically, because he was like, you got to do those things you did before, including, like, end zone interceptions, like perfect on
the helmet.
Perfect on fourth down, like, which, I mean, we've quite literally seen it happen before. It happened in that game between the Panthers and the Rams. But if you're betting on that to happen again, feels like a tough bet. Speaking of bets, you mentioned the Rams spread at 10.5.
Yep.
It's not only the biggest spread of this weekend in the NFL. The next closest is the Eagles over the Niners, 5.5. So it's almost double the next highest spread. If you add up the other 5 spreads for these games, it comes to 15. The Rams are 10.5. Like, they are insanely unusual favorites in this game.
And so that brings me to this. And I know that the players aren't looking at the spread, and I know that they're like, oh, we're 10.5 point, we're going to have I understand they're going to show up, they're going to compete, and I think losing to them earlier in the season is actually beneficial to the game that's going to take place tomorrow. I think that the Rams are going to be fully present. I think that one of Sean McVay's great strengths as a head coach is his ability to bounce back from adversity. The Rams very rarely stay in a funk for a long period of time. It happens once in a while, but it's not a trait of theirs. That being said, they've had kind of a weird run since Carolina. They lose in Carolina. They blow a big lead in Seattle, and you win that Seattle game. We're not even playing this weekend, right? It's a totally different place. You have a bad loss to Atlanta, and then they did not look like themselves for the better part of 3 quarters against Arizona in the last week of the season. Now, the fourth quarter, they look like the Rams all over again. It looked like they figured things out. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win big. But if a repeat performance of Week 13 happens tomorrow, there's no question that that's the worst loss of the McVay era, right? If, in fact, something like that were to happen.
I can't think of, off the top of my head, not just a close second. I can't think of anything. Where you would walk in considered this much of favorites. The Panthers are only in the playoffs because NFL rules dictate somebody from a division has to go. Like, that's why the Panthers are in. They are 8-9. They backed into this thing. You could argue they got it on a technicality, like another. Everyone else's losses, tiebreakers, whatever. They're not good. The Rams, for the first half of the season, were considered, if not the favorite to win the Super Bowl, one of the big ones. It really could be the biggest loss in the McVay era.
And that's what's so weird, because prior to the game against Carolina, I think if you asked 100 NFL people who's the best team in the league, who if you had to pick somebody today, who would you pick to go to the Super Bowl? I think the majority of people would have picked the Rams, just because of the way that they were playing, the way that Stafford was playing, the way that the defense was able to get stops, the way that they seemed at the time to figure out their special teams units. It just, the fact that Sean McVay is their head coach, like they were checking just about as many boxes or more than everyone else. The 14 teams in the playoffs right now, I think there are 2, maybe 3 teams. The Packers are the maybe, the Steelers are the other one, and the Carolina Panthers, the 3 of the 14 that are the only teams that say they have no shot at going to the Super Bowl. The other, what did that leave? 11, I think, are all kind of in the same boat, more or less. But the Carolina Panthers, of those 14, they're 14th.
I'll take it a step further. Of those teams that you mentioned, Steelers, Packers, Panthers, that you can't really picture getting to the Super Bowl, the Panthers are the only one of those 3 that if someone told you they're in the Super Bowl, your response would be, get the F out of here.
Right.
No, they're not.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like, no, they're not. There is no way that team
wins 3 games.
Wins 3 games. They only won 8 in the regular season. There's no way they win 3 in the playoffs.
What's the formula? Emmanuel Acho, game plan aside, just don't make a single mistake. Is it something that the Rams have to tee them up for it? That Matthew Stafford has to throw more interceptions? Matthew Stafford has to get knocked out of the game? I mean, because I know that there's weather, but so what? You know what I mean? Like the Rams are they're better at virtually every single spot where it matters most. I just have a hard time getting into a place where where it's 24-23 halfway through the fourth quarter and it's a toss-up. I can't get there.
I would think, just the weather, for whatever reason, the weather gets in the way of some of these throws. Like Stafford can't quite get the connection that he wants. Maybe if it's wet, Devontae Adams, who hasn't played in like a month, has a little bit of difficulty adjusting to the atmosphere, stuff like that. The other thing I could think of is that Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle go off.
Okay, another weird thing. This is another weird, like the Carolina Rams game is the sliding doors moment for kind of both of these teams, that the Rams kind of seem to lose their mojo for at least a period of time after that game. Oddly enough, so did the Panthers, because the last time that Dowdle and Hubbard were good was week 13. They've been dreadful the last few weeks. The Panthers haven't been able to run the ball at all, and that's what I mean. That's why I keep coming back to this. I'm very rarely sitting here on this show or my podcast or any of that kind of stuff saying, I think Team A is going to smoke Team B. It's pro sports. Weird stuff happens all the time. I just don't see a path for Carolina, barring unforeseen circumstances where, like, significant injuries to significant players, where this is a contest.
Okay, here's another one I could think of, I guess. And I'm not predicting this. I'm just trying to think of reasons that aren't just injuries for the Rams, like a bunch of guys get hurt. The absence of Kevin Dotson really matters along the line. Like whether you're talking about the running game with Williams and Corum, whether you're talking about guys getting through and getting Stafford. Like Kevin Dotson matters. Like he's a big part of that offensive line. Like how much does that absence really matter?
What about the addition of Higbee coming back? The addition of Quentin Lake coming back? Like the Rams did, I just looked it up. Like they had key injuries going into a lot of those weeks with like their star guys, their locker room guys, they're able to keep the composure of the team. So like you add them back into the mix, all of a sudden you finally got your complete team again.
I think Higbee, it's a good point, DeAndre, that Higbee is one of those emotional components too, that the Rams are a buttoned-up group. It's kind of a similar criticism that we've heard of the Dodgers before, that they're too corporate, they're too professional, they're too even-keeled. Higbee is an emotion. You saw him against Arizona. He was playing with a great deal of emotion. I think he does bring that to him. And you're going to need some of those guys. It can't all be that, you were going to work at IBM and going to do it. You need some spark.
Well, I think Puka's shown he'll go off script every now and then.
Indeed.
Be careful what you wish for, is all I'm saying.
A different type of script. You're right. But let's go around the room here. DeAndre, Laura, you guys weigh in on this as well. Is there a team to beat? As the games start tomorrow. We got 2 tomorrow, 3 Sunday, 1 Monday night, two teams sitting at home with buys. Does it feel like anybody is significantly better than anyone else? I'm biased, obviously. I think the Rams are slightly ahead of some of these teams, but San Francisco ended up there. Seattle ended up there. Philadelphia ended up there. I wouldn't be surprised if any of those teams represented the NFC.
You're talking, purely NFC.
And both, really, because Denver's the number 1 seed, but they got a quarterback that I don't know if anybody's jumping up and down to lay money on.
Drake May's had an incredible season, but he's never
unproven.
He's totally unproven. Trevor Lawrence is unproven. Josh Allen's very proven, but his team is not. His team has often let him down in the playoffs. Like nobody feels like a favorite, which is actually, I think, really exciting for these playoffs.
What's interesting is I think we've gone through 2 very distinct eras of where there was an unquestioned team to beat. We had 20 years, basically, of the Patriots or the Colts being the team to beat, right? Mostly the Patriots. And then we had what we're coming out of, like almost the better part of a decade of it ran through Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Right. And now neither of the Chiefs are out. The New England team is a totally different team. Does it feel as open to you?
It does feel as open because you would think that, like, I'm not trying to be Eagles fan biased, but still, like, the Eagles have been in the playoffs in this, two times in the span of 5 years. So you think the Eagles will have that, you'll be that Chiefs dynasty in the NFC. But however, they haven't looked like that complete team throughout this whole entire season. So then you look at it like, it's very open. It's very open in the NFL.
Laura?
I agree. I feel like if we would have had this conversation at the beginning of the season, it would like, Bills, Eagles, like you see those
Chiefs
teams in Chiefs,
even
right?
the Ravens early on.
It was like, oh, these are the teams that you're gonna see at the end, and now you see who's Like, you have the Panthers there. You have, the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence, and you're like, what? The Bears? Like, there's certain teams that you're like, yeah. And then you look at the record, you're like, oh, crap, the Bears are, you said it, 2 seed, right? The Broncos. Like, it's so crazy to see the teams that you have to play this weekend. And I wouldn't have had half of them there.
I mean, on one hand, I think nobody really feels total confidence in the Bears. They feel unproven. They're the underdog in this game against the Packers. However, if you get into the fourth quarter and that thing is tied, I promise you don't want to see Caleb Williams.
They've got a little bit of the magic or the whatever it is, the thing that makes you – every year there's a team that just keeps winning games even if it's not perfectly explainable.
And the Packers in particular know that because Caleb Williams did that to them this season.
Every team in this field has a flaw that you say that's the reason that they could get knocked out. The Rams, I think, is they can't make kicks. And we've seen it a million times. Playoff games come down. We saw the Baltimore Pittsburgh game the other night.
Boswell and Loop.
Yeah, they both missed.
Yeah.
And it comes down to a kick here or there, and they haven't made a kick that matters in basically all season.
How much does that recent miss by Thicker, the kicker,
Look, Andy, here's
matter
what I've
to
been
you?
saying. A ton. He's been asked to make one kick with pressure. He's 0 for 1. That's the only kick all season long that had real stakes. He's made every other kick, so his percentage is really good. There's been one. Make this kick, we win the game. We're probably the number 1 seed. Missed. Every other kick has been, make it, we score some points. Okay. I mean, it has to mean something. Do you agree?
I don't want to read too much into it just because the sample size is so small.
It is.
And even great kickers every now and then miss a big kick in pressure situations. Guys who have made it over and
That's the difference, though. I haven't seen him make one.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that
had he made 10 and missed one, and it was even if it was the last one I saw, he missed one.
But here's the thing. It could also be the first time he's in a pressure situation, he misses, and then he gets 10 pressure kicks in a row in. Like, it's always timed some way.
Fair. You know who likes the draft? Andy Kamenetsky likes the draft. We're going to do a snake draft coming up next. Andy's in for DeMarco. It's DeMarco and Trav, 710 ESPN.
Join Travis Rogers, Sua Cravens, and Chris Morales tomorrow at Hollywood Park Casino starting at 11:30 a.m. What's this Emily erasure? Yeah, join Emily Hebel as well for the live countdown to kickoff and Rams wild card match party at the Century Bar and Grill. Get there early to claim your spot, win tickets or autographed memorabilia. Enjoy buy one, get one free appetizers. While you watch with us, limit 1 per person. RSVP now at ESPNLA.com. Playoff football, don't miss it.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hey, everybody, it's Cap. Are you downsizing or inheriting a home? Want to cash in on your equity? Call Sellers Advantage. They buy homes as is with no costly repairs, agents, or commissions. Get a competitive cash offer and close in days or on your timeline. Sellers Advantage has over 20 years of experience and even offers a $20,000 advance for moving expenses. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your no-obligation offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Sellers Advantage.
Party play. This wild card weekend, the playoffs coming live at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers, Sua Cravens, and me, Chris Morales, for the ultimate ESPN LA Rams watch party. The ESPN LA crew will be broadcasting live starting at 11:30 a.m. with the pregame, halftime, and postgame shows right from Hollywood Park Casino this Saturday, January 10th. Cheer on our Rams, soak in the excitement, and win exclusive prizes. Hollywood Park Casino, LA's hottest card room, and the only place to party and play 24/7. Must be 21 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For a century, the Genesis Invitational has stood as one of golf's greatest stages, where the game's legends make their mark and history is written.
It's official. The round that will long be remembered. Oh, yes! Ludwig Oberg.
February 19th through 22nd, celebrate 100 years of championship golf. Experience the drama, the tradition, and the moments that define the Genesis Invitational. Get your tickets now at genesisinvitational.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
It's DeMarco Farr and Travis Rogers.
I can't dance at all. What did you call it, Punchy? The Caucasian two-step. Yes. That's what I got. I got
What's
this.
the Caucasian two-step? The white man's overbite?
Yeah, yes, I got that too.
Afternoons with DeMarco and Travis rolls on. Back to the guys.
Just give me the light.
Do you know who this is, Trav?
Just give me the light and pass the job.
No.
Sean Paul. He's 53 years old.
Okay. Happy birthday to him.
Do you know who that is?
No.
Like, I did not know that this was Sean Paul or John Paul?
Sean Paul.
Okay. Because isn't there also a John Paul?
He was the Pope.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, but his
Sean
tracks
Paul.
were slamming, man.
Dude, every time
Mark
this hits
Paul.
a club,
I know Chris Paul. I knew Rich Paul.
Mark Paul Gosselaar?
Yeah, Mark Paul Gosselaar. Yeah.
Not
I
Sean Paul.
I'm not shocked that you know Mark Paul Gosselaar, you know?
Yeah, well, I was in charge of him for a very long time as a Mr. Belding stand-in. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We're doing our draft, Laura?
we are. Sorry,
All
I
right.
got caught up in the song.
That's all right.
My club days. All right, guys. So I sent you guys something in our group chat today, and I was trying to pull it up, so I apologize. But basically, I sent you guys, I was like, wow, this is crazy because Al Michaels is still...
He's coming back.
He's coming back.
Yeah,
And
to Amazon.
81 years old and coming back to call NFL games. And I was like, listen, love me some Al Michaels, but if I'm 81 and have money, I'm retiring. I'm going to an island. I'm going to travel. But he clearly loves what he does, and he's coming back. So
and
this
they pay
inspired...
him well, and he works 18 weeks a year. That's a good gig.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. So this inspired our snake draft. So we are going to draft our top sportscasters. I do have a witness because I do get told that somehow I end up at the top of these lists. And
How do I know you didn't buy off the witness?
he's always talking trash, man. He doesn't believe that I keep records. So
All right. So you have the first pick, I
do
assume.
have the first pick.
Okay.
Soccer.
You saw it. You saw it. And I even asked you if you wanted me to redo it. Anyways, so of course I'm going to take Vin Scully. Yeah. I mean, as you guys should have known.
It's the
that's
correct
where
pick.
I was going to go. And Mr. Andy has the second pick.
Chicky, baby. All the way.
Yeah, kind of.
Chick Hearn.
Yeah.
The legend.
Not a huge surprise. Not a huge surprise. Who's next?
DeAndre.
I'm going to go with Marv Albert.
Ooh.
Great choice.
That's my guy right there, man.
Great choice.
Travis, you got two.
So, Laura, my hope was that you were going to take somebody, and I think it would have been a good pick regardless, but it would have been a great pick for you.
Okay.
And I was hoping that maybe I would be next and get a chance to take Vin Scully.
Okay.
I'm going to take Jaime Harin because I thought
Nice.
you might take him, and I've gotten to spend time with Jaime
Your amigo.
over the last... Hey, look, I went to their foundation event.
Dude is a
Dodger Stadium.
legend.
He is a legend. He is such a nice guy. He's so much fun to talk to. And
Great golf tournament, by the way.
great. We did his golf tournament as well.
I
It's
went to
just-
an NPR event back when I used to do KPCC's weekly sports update type thing, and he was being honored. It was awesome
Yeah.
to see him get his flowers.
He is such a kind guy.
Yeah.
And look,
Classy.
he
All
is
class.
Vin Scully. He just happens to be a Spanish-speaking Vin Scully. And,
Yep.
But for an entire city, he
Yep.
was the way that people experience the Dodgers. So I'm going to take Jaime.
I honestly should have called that. I didn't think anybody was going to take him. I was like,
no.
I
It was
like, I figured that I would be able to get him, forgetting that you were in this draft.
Yeah, no, that was going to happen.
That's good strategy, though.
You get a second
I
one.
get the flip.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this next one. I'm going to go a little college. He did a million different things. He did NFL football. He did Major League Baseball. He did a bunch of different stuff, but most well known for college football. One of my favorite events of the year is right here in town, and he was the voice of that event for a million years. He lived in L.A. for a million years. Keith Jackson.
Whoa,
Nelly. And every time I think of Keith Jackson, I think of the greatest sporting event I've ever been to in person in my life, USC Texas at the Rose Bowl. And I think of when Vince Young scored the winning thing, he's going for the corner, he's got it. And it's just every time I think of him, it puts a smile on my face, and it reminds me a lot of my granddad. So I'm taking Keith Jackson, number 2.
Beautiful.
All right, DeAndre?
All right. I'm going to go with my guy, Chris Berman.
Back.
I love Chris Berman growing up. I was a big fan of the Blitz. That was like one of the better shows growing up for me. So, yeah.
Be back by 11.
He's still doing it.
He is
He's still doing it. He's still out there.
I'm getting paid for that 3 minutes.
It's like what we were talking about with Al Michaels.
Perfect.
Remember Andy Rooney?
Oh, what do you have, a 3-minute segment?
A week.
Once a week for how many weeks a year? Maybe 35?
You ever notice?
You ever notice how? And you just grow your eyebrows out, and you can be Andy Rooney.
Yep.
Okay.
Speaking of some big eyebrows, my next pick, John Madden.
Great one.
That's
John
good.
Madden, he reshaped how games get called. He reshaped video games, incredibly influential. Very much looking forward to the movie with Nicolas Cage playing John Madden, Christian Bale as Al Davis.
I know that they can do crazy stuff with makeup and wardrobe and wigs and all this. Dude, he looks like John Madden.
I know.
It's crazy.
I know he does.
You look at Nick Cage, and you would never say he looks like John Madden, and then you see him as Madden, you're like,
And
that looks a lot like
Christian Bale
John
looks a
Madden.
lot like Al
I know.
Davis.
It's crazy.
I know.
It's great.
And
Great pick.
Turducken.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever had a slice of
yeah,
turducken?
no.
Overrated.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, overrated.
Turkey, duck.
That's
what-
got to be
chicken.
It's got to be super hard to make.
Yeah, you have to take all the bones out of all the birds and tie them all
But
together.
also to make sure that everything gets cooked evenly throughout. Like that sounds difficult.
It does. And they're enormous. All right, Laura, you get 2.
Okay. So I was over here chopping it up with Trudeau because Trudeau's going to go in there after.
Did he try to talk you into picking him?
No.
Okay.
So obviously I was like, nobody's picked on Michael, but I don't know if that's like off the board because he is,
of course not.
He is part of the reason why. But
Maybe the greatest single call of all time.
so I'm going to leave Al Michaels for whoever wants to take him. I have Bob Costas. And then.
You're picking Bob?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I don't think anybody's, because again, I'm leaving Al Michaels.
Sure.
But I'm going to take Doris Burke.
Oh, nice.
Good call.
So that rounds up my 3.
Why Bob? What, when you think of Bob, I mean, Bob's done everything. He's done the Olympics. He's done the NBA. He's done Major League Baseball. He's done the NFL. Like, Bob has literally
The
done
OJ
anything.
Chase.
By the way, that's one of my favorite 30 for 30s. The
Yes.
June 17th, 1994. Costas is all over that. What do you think of when you think of Bob first?
Honestly, so for me, it was more, I was never really a big Olympics person, but he made it where I could, like, see the Olympics and like, just experience.
Yeah.
Experience is a better word for it because I was like, that's not really my thing.
When
but
did
I'm
he-
like, oh, okay.
He had a late night talk show, Laura.
It was great.
Yeah,
it was
like
really
around
good.
12:30.
Really, really good.
Fun fact, he's a St. Louis guy.
That's right.
He used to live in St. Louis. His ex-wife was my brother Brian's kindergarten.
Another,
no kidding.
Yeah.
Another
No
fun
way.
fact, Syracuse dropout.
I didn't know he dropped out. I knew he went
Because
to
he got a
Syracuse.
job with the St. Louis Spirit.
The
St. Louis,
ABA team.
He got the ABA.
yeah.
Mike D'Antoni played for that team.
Oh, did he really?
Yes.
Really?
All right, AKA, you get your last pick.
I'm really torn. Like, there's a sentimental favorite in me wanting to go Jack Buck. Like,
Okay.
That's the
Great
voice I
choice.
grew up with. I've always had a soft spot for Ralph Lawler. I think he's done an
Bingo.
incredible.
Lawler's
There should be a Hall of
Bingo.
Famer for the Clippers, man.
First one
he
to 100.
He should be up in their rafters.
Yes,
It's
of course he should.
insane to
Of
me that
course
he's
he
not. I'm going to go Kevin Harlan, though.
Oh,
Kevin
I had him on
Harlan
my
is
list, too,
so much fun.
Very Midwest.
And everything he ever calls, he does it great, but he makes it fun.
The squirrel call he had when I think it was a Monday Night Football because he does Monday Night Football on the radio. I
Westwood
believe.
One, yeah.
And
Yes.
when the squirrel was in San Francisco and he did the play-by-play of them chasing the squirrel, terrific.
That's what I'm talking about with fun. Like, Kevin Harlan is one of the most spontaneous announcers. Like, it's very rare, and he's comfortable with it.
And he's a super nice man.
Yeah, I've never heard
met
a bad.
Yeah.
not-
Started off with the T-Wolves.
yeah, he's terrific. He's terrific.
By the
All
way,
right.
me and Kevin Harlan we're best friends.
Come
you know?
on.
Oh, yeah?
Are you?
Yeah, I met him at when he was calling a Laker game. I met him. Shout out to Cap. He introduced me to him, and then me and
Get it
Kevin
right.
Harlan, we
Get it
clicked
right.
right away, man.
You didn't meet him.
I did meet Kevin.
He met you.
Yeah.
Come on, I'll host the Laker Talk Daily right here.
You're picked.
All right. My last one, I'm going to go with Gus Johnson.
Great choice.
Every time I hear one of his calls, it just brings back childhood memories.
And Gus is great at basketball and football. Gus,
He belongs on March Madness.
Yes.
That's
yes.
what Fox should
That's
just
the
let him
first thing
out.
I think of when
Fox should let him go, man. Gonzaga.
All right, so I get the
People
last
crying.
pick, Laura?
Yes, you do, sir.
All right, so I'm honestly a little surprised Al Michaels is still there. When I said a second ago, like he might have the most iconic call of all time, "Do you believe in miracles?" I'm not going to take Al, although I'm very, very tempted to. You were talking about fun of Kevin Harlan, which is exactly right. This man was the opposite of all of that. However, he is an icon, universally loathed. But if you were of an era and you saw this guy do his thing, he was must watch. Howard Cosell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote a research paper on Howard Cosell.
Did you really?
In my first intro to journalism class, it was on Howard.
Howard Cosell was one of the first guys to kind of break in as a know-it-all non-jock who was, I'm the smartest guy in the room. He's a ginormous pain in the ass. Everybody hated him.
He was a lawyer.
But he was incredibly compelling. He was great with Ali. He was great on Monday Night Football.
Remember on Monday Night Football, he announced to the world that John Lennon had been killed.
Yeah, no, he was an incredibly brilliant guy. He was just a very, very difficult guy.
The back and forth between him and Ali was awesome.
And you could tell they both kind of enjoyed each other's company. They were totally in on it, but I don't think anybody ever said that Howard Cosell was a lot of fun. I think he was the opposite.
Including Howard.
No, and Howard was unrepentant in his deal. Yeah. Well, Howard was an interesting one. So I was working for Rome when Cosell died. And so it's a big deal, right? Howard Cosell is an incredibly famous individual in the sports world. And so we start calling around to get people to come on to talk about Howard Cosell. And everyone's like, I'll come on, but I'm going to tell the truth. And it's like, okay. And it was because usually when somebody goes, it's like, yeah, they're going to paint a picture. But everyone's like, I'll come on, but I'm going to tell you what I think about Howard Cosell. It was a very unique time in my life. Yeah.
Who really went most truthful?
Lampley.
Lampley?
Yeah. And it was great.
Lampley seems like somebody who would go truthful.
Yeah. And Lamps was terrific. And Lamps gets what Cosell is, and worked for him for a long time. And I think they, like most people, I think he had a good relationship with him until he didn't. And so it was a good day. It was an interesting day. I wouldn't say it's a good day, but an interesting day to be sure. Happy, congratulations to Al Michaels, 81, still going strong.
Riviera.
Trudell, you coming in here? All right, Trudell's coming in here in a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about the Lakers and the Bucks coming up tonight, and a couple of big names that are moving around in the NBA. It's all coming up. Andy's in for DeMarco. It's DeMarco and Trav, 710 ESPN.
Your Lakers, your season, your home.
Tonight, after a 2-game swing away from LA, the Purple and Gold return to LA Live and are ready to protect their home floor as the Bucks come to town.
Alley-oop to LeBron. Slam dunk. What a pass by Luka.
LA Lakers, Milwaukee Bucks from Crypto.com Arena. Coverage begins tonight at 6 p.m.
The Lake Show lives here. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
John Ireland for Blue Ice, the finest potato vodka sourced from Idaho and pure Snake River Aquafire water. Find classic Blue Ice vodka or any of their unique flavors in stores or ask for it by name. Blue Ice vodka, because taste is everything.
At Normand Legal, we know you have a lot of choices, but you need family and a championship-winning team on your side.
Absolutely, Joe. When someone's been in an accident, they need a team that goes full throttle, tackling every obstacle to get the maximum compensation they deserve.
Exactly, Travis. We've helped thousands recover millions in settlements and verdicts, and we never leave our clients on the sideline.
Do not wait. Call 213-747-1234. Again, 213-747-1234, or visit normandlegal.com.
Normand Legal, the winning team fighting for you.
Coverage and content of the 2026 college football playoffs on ESPN LA is presented by Pechanga Resort Casino. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino. See for yourself what made readers of Newsweek and USA Today named Pechanga the best casino outside of Las Vegas. Visit Pechanga.com for more information.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installations with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
Yo, this is Jerry Garcia. It's your boy Concrete. And you're listening live to the 710 ESPN Radio, the best show, 3 to 6, DeMarco and Travis live.
Let's go. More DeMarco and Travis right now.
All right, DeMarco is on his way to Charlotte. The Rams and the Panthers kick off at 1:30 tomorrow. Pre-game show, Hollywood Park Casino. Me, Sewell will be there. Morales is going to be there. We're going to do the whole show there. We're going to hang out, watch the game with you. So you want to come on down to HBC tomorrow, you can do that. Game kicks off at 1:30, and then we got the post-game show coming up right after that. The Lakers are coming up about a few hours from right now. Beto just decided to dip out, but Trudell is here. How you feeling?
In relief of Beto.
Yeah,
yeah.
You're pitch hitting for Beto.
Yeah, call in the righty from the bullpen.
You excited for tonight?
Bit.
Little Giannis action?
Always fun to see the NBA's best, and Giannis is certainly up there. I mean, I think we're hoping that you get most of the starting lineup back, which would be LeBron and Rui. Back for this one, obviously Austin Reeves still going to be out for a little bit, but it's been such a crazy season in terms of how many different lineups that they've had to use. And I know it's not just the Lakers, but I think I did the sideline report for the game ahead of the San Antonio. I think it was the 19th lineup.
Oh my gosh.
Starting lineup. And that's just a starting lineup.
Right.
And then we know that does the back end. And so I kind of come back to the point of like, if you had told me there are going to be 19 different starting lineups at this point in the season and the Lakers would be 23-12, I'd be like,
great
deal.
Yeah, take it.
Yeah. So it hasn't always been pretty, but they've been getting the job done more nights than not. And I think that they can be happy with where they're at and also know some areas where they are going to have to improve to actually make a run. But like overall, again, everything has been pretty good as to what you might have expected if I just told you who was available on a nightly basis.
That's the thing. Andy and I were talking a little bit before the show about that, the idea of making a run. And, do you try to force a run? Do you try to do that? Or do you try to kind of let this thing just live its natural life and see what happens and then try to retool for what's coming up? Because they are in a good position. They do have a nice record. They have played, I think, about as well as you could have reasonably expected considering the circumstances. But then you look at the top of what the Western Conference is. You look at the best teams up there, and it feels like the gap between where they are and where the other team, the top teams are, is real. Is a run going to be because they just catch lightning in a bottle for a few weeks or a month or so, or do you have to try to force it?
Well, I mean, part of that run would be the lightning in a bottle you're describing this season would be everyone staying healthy for a few weeks. Like that actually is lightning in a bottle for this team so far. Mike mentioned 19 different starting lineups. Not a single one of them was JJ's decided he wants to go in a different direction. His hand has been forced every single time by availability. So that would be part of it. The problem this team is going to have, they're good. They're not great, but they're good. The problem is their weaknesses are very exploitable. And I don't even mean against just like the elite teams. Even some of the bad teams, if they're like young, if they're like bad but young and athletic, they can exploit some of their weaknesses. It's the reason why they've lost only by double digits this season.
That's crazy.
All 12 of their losses have been double digits. They're undefeated in clutch time. But even their clutch time, like a lot of these clutch time wins have been against opponents that you would think they could bury.
So there are two. I have kind of two different theories to this, and the one is just obvious, right? It's the lack of a certain level of athlete, and maybe two guys on the roster. If you make a move at the trade deadline, maybe one in the offseason, that can kind of fix that. So you're not that far away from being able to be more athletic in theory for like a long-term future build around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, and everybody else is between 6'8" and 7 feet, athletic, strong, and like that kind of thing. So I can see that. So that's very encouraging because Doncic and Reeves, just the two of them, you have a good offense, period.
Yeah.
And so that all makes sense. But now, can you thread the needle, kind of to your point, Travis, is there a way to do a trade like at the deadline, and even if it's just for one guy, that gets you kind of close enough where you got a puncher's chance to either at least win a couple series or get all the way through? I don't know. Like that one's tricky. But to Andy's point now, in thinking about just where the team is in concert with the rest of the NBA and some of the times they get blown out. So I think that when this team is shorthanded, which has been the whole year, there's a certain element of, I don't want to call it human nature, but okay, at full strength, playing maximum defense for the whole game, we could beat this team. Let's say it's a Houston. They haven't played Denver yet, but it's a San Antonio. They did beat San Antonio once. It's an OKC. Like those teams, I don't want to say Boston, but like the way they're playing right now, they're close to that. Detroit, right? The Knicks. Like, so a couple teams around the league. Could the Lakers beat them? Yes, but when that game is tight and they're not quite able to access that full level of athleticism, LeBron was out that night. Well, there goes your athleticism. Then I think that's when it becomes, instead of being tight, that's when it becomes like, all right, well, let's win the next 3 games.
Let's pack it in and get ready for the next one.
And not that they're like not trying late, but
Right.
that to me is the difference between losing by 16 and like losing by 4.
7,
when
yeah.
a lot of the younger teams are really like pressing with their second unit.
Sure, but I mean, the flip side is, to me, if that is what's going on, I don't think this team has earned the right to think of these opponents as not worth their time.
No, it's not that. It's we can't get to the level on this night, right? On the second night of a back-to-back against San Antonio, down 3 starters. Like
that was a game they busted their asses, though, man.
They did bust their ass, but I'm saying in that case, like even that's the difference between like a San Antonio and a team like when Detroit was in this building before, and I think that was the athletic difference that they couldn't overcome without playing 100% effort. And you can play at that level, but that's why you need more players, by the way, at some point.
Yeah,
because you shouldn't have to play at 100% defensively every night in order to compete with certain
here's the problem, though. This particular team, with its defensive weaknesses, its athleticism weaknesses, speed, they have no choice but to play really hard for the majority of games, whether it's practical or not, if they want to give themselves a chance to win games, sometimes even against opponents, much less the great ones.
So you
don't have another choice.
Trudell used an expression that kind of made my ears go up because I've heard it before, and it's a good expression, but I feel like this has kind of been the territory that they've been in for a while, and it's something that DeAndre and Laura and I have talked about a lot, like the idea of a puncher's chance. And sure, that exists, and occasionally it will happen, but it feels like they've been in the puncher's chance lane for a while, and they keep trying to give themselves maybe a slightly better puncher's chance as opposed to let's let this thing see what happens. Because to what we've been talking about, they're not a bad team. It's not like they're going to scrape into the playoffs. If they continue to look the way that they've looked, they're going to be in the playoffs, and they're going to give somebody a business in the playoffs. But this idea of threading the needle and trying to do both at the same time doesn't interest me as much. I'd much rather just...
Well, you know why it doesn't interest you? Because you follow the Dodgers so closely, okay? Most of the teams in every other sport, including the Rams, by the way, almost every NFL team is in a puncher's chance mode. There's no clear favorite.
But there's a difference between a puncher's
either.
chance, and I'm one of the 4 or 5 teams that has a chance, and one of the 12 teams that has a chance. And it feels like the Lakers are in that 5 to 12 group, where there's the other group of it's more than a puncher's chance. We just need to play really well, and we'll do it.
But so that's the thing about the NBA, though. Like, there's no team in the East that you can tell me for sure will be better than the Lakers come postseason. And I'm assuming they do something, even if it's something small.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's one more player that just picks up some of their weaknesses, like a point of attack defender that can play 25 to 30 minutes a game. Like, right there, I think I could see the Lakers beating Detroit. I'd probably favor them to beat the Knicks, who have the same defensive weaknesses without the same offensive upside. And then you're getting to, Boston. We'll see about Tatum.
Sure.
So then in the West, okay, OKC is above. I don't care that, yes, they lost to the Spurs. Ultimately, I think that helps them. They're still the favorite to me.
Agreed.
The Spurs are, like right now in a 7-game series, I would pick the Spurs.
Over OKC?
Over the Lakers,
Okay,
sorry.
yeah.
And then, like, Denver, you give Jokic the benefit of the doubt. He's done it before. Okay, so that's 3 teams. And then, Minnesota, Houston, the Lakers, like that's basically it. So we're not like they're not in that small category of like the contender, but they are adjacent.
No, but they're adjacent to it, but the gap between Group A and Group B to me feels significant.
Well,
they're in Group B, but B should probably be D.
Well, there
is no B and C.
Who's in really A, though, really? I guess OKC, Denver, and then we're giving San Antonio that benefit of the doubt.
I think so.
Probably. But so that's, that is, Andy, it's not ideal, but for making a huge kind of trade for the future, which they did last year, and having LeBron James in year 23, which is insane.
Bonkers.
That's nobody. So like that, I didn't see that being different, I suppose, at this point. That's what this trade deadline and the offseason is for.
The truth is,
to get to the consistent contender, that you need a couple of more windows of opportunity to get.
The truth is, this is something of I think, an elevated gap year. And a lot of times when people talk about gap years, they're talking about like a year where Jason Tatum is injured, like Tyrese Halliburton is injured. Your team that was good is going to take a step back because you're missing your star.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this time last year. We were having discussions, who are they going to put around LeBron and Anthony Davis? Then all of a sudden you end up out of nowhere with Luka. This is not a roster that they've really had much time or flexibility or optionality, to use one of Rob's words, to really build ideally around Luka.
That's right.
And they only have so many assets before the deadline. Like, as far as picks, they've got 1 first that's currently available. As far as expiring contracts that I think have value as an actual player, 1 in Rui. You maybe hope a team is curious about Dalton Knecht, maybe curious about the glimpses you've seen of Adu Thero, but they don't have a lot to work with.
Yeah.
In the summer, depending on who is still on the books, who isn't, they get access to 2 more draft picks. They can start building, I think, more sensibly around Luka, like the way you would go about building big picture team around Luka. What I'm hoping is that any deals they make, if they make any between now and the deadline, they're more about next season and the future than this season.
I'm with you on all that. I want to go back to kind of where we started, and we'll get into it. That Giannis is here in L.A. tonight. He said he's not going to ask for a trade. We're hearing about Ja Morant. You're hearing about Anthony Davis. How many of these guys might move, when they might move, where they might go. Trudell is here. Andy's in for DeMarco. It's DeMarco and Trav, 710 ESPN.
On the latest Sedano and Cap, Sedano's losing his mind, and Cappy is discovering the world.
Yeah. In this episode, Cappy discovered Walmart and discovered the whole Biggie Tupac drama.
Did you guys know that Diddy was in the middle of Biggie and Tupac? Did you guys know this?
Very much
And did you guys know that Walmart literally has everything?
Yes,
I almost bought a fishing pole last night at
They've
Walmart.
only been around for like 25 years.
The Morning Show with Sedano and Cap. Weekdays starting at 7 a.m. on ESPN LA.
Morales here, and if you're in the market for a new ride, there's only one place to go. You know where it is, the Big Cat, Felix Chevrolet. You know the one right off the 110 in downtown LA with that classic black cat, Felix the Cat, smiling down on Figueroa. They've been serving Angelitos for over 100 years with unbeatable deals, an amazing selection, and service that treats you like family. A la familia. So whether it's a brand new Chevy or a certified pre-owned, make your next stop Felix Chevrolet. Head over to Felix Chevrolet, the Big Cat today. Ask for my guy, the GM Nicky D, and say, hey, I want to see that big cat.
Hey, everybody, it's Cap. Is it time to sell your home? Whether you're downsizing, moving, or inheriting a property, call Seller's Advantage. With decades of experience, they offer custom cash solutions and can close in days. No repairs, no agents, no hassle, just a great offer that gives you peace of mind. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com. Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Park Party Play. This wild card weekend, the playoffs coming live at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers, Sua Cravens, and me, Chris Morales, for the ultimate ESPN LA Rams watch party. The ESPN LA crew will be broadcasting live starting at 11:30 a.m. with the pregame, halftime, and postgame shows right from Hollywood Park Casino this Saturday, January 10th. Cheer on our Rams, soak in the excitement, and win exclusive prizes. Hollywood Park Casino, LA's hottest card room, and the only place to party and play 24/7. Must be 21 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For a century, the Genesis Invitational has stood as one of golf's greatest stages, where the game's legends make their mark and history is written.
It's official. The round that will long be remembered. Oh, yes! Ludwig Oberg.
February 19th through 22nd, celebrate 100 years of championship golf. Experience the drama, the tradition, and the moments that define the Genesis Invitational. Get your tickets now at genesisinvitational.com.
Hey, Los Angeles, your Rams are in the playoffs, and if you missed out on any action this past season, don't make the same mistake. Clinch your spot in the Rams house for 2026. Watch every home game next year with marquee matchups against the Bills, Chiefs, Cowboys, and Packers. In addition, enjoy home playoff ticket access, interest-free monthly payment plans, and stadium event pre-sale access. Visit therams.com/2026. Again, that is therams.com/2026. Don't miss out on any of next year's action and get your Rams season tickets today.
John Ireland here, and before the lights come up at Crypto.com Arena, make your night legendary at Javier's downtown. A SoCal tradition for decades, Javier's is where timeless recipes meet modern elegance. Handcrafted margaritas, premium tequila, coastal Mexican flavors, always a part of the celebration. Whether you're courtside or catching a concert, start your evening where LA gathers for that unmistakable Javier's experience. Javier's newest location is just steps from the arena. Javier's downtown. Tradition, taste, and an amazing start to your evening.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
You're hanging out with the Rams Super Bowl champ and Sweet Tea.
Feeling awesome. Yes. What's up?
Afternoons with DeMarco and Travis rolls on.
Guys, what the heck is going on out here?
Back to the guys.
Coming up on Monday, that's January 12th, ESPN LA is taking over the Kings game. The Kings are hosting the Dallas Stars at 7 p.m. The festivities start with Mason singing the national anthem. Then Cappy will be skating with the official ice crew to scrape the ice. And the Super Bowl champion, DeMarco Farr, will be on the Zamboni waving to all of you. That's Monday, January 12th. ESPN LA night is coming to Crypto. Have you ever been on a Zamboni, Andy?
I have never been on a Zamboni, although earlier in the week I went out skating at LA Live.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I took my daughter. It was
Can
a lot
you skate?
of fun. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can ice skate.
Trudell, you grew up in Minnesota. I assume you can skate.
Yeah, it's a birthright. I mean, hockey, like I chipped this tooth in 4th grade on a pond.
Oh, on the ice or with a puck?
On the ice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fell on the ice. So that's that's
were you
pretty
cross-checked? Were you boarded? Were you
that
hooked?
I got hit and yes, that was not wearing a helmet at the time. Or they didn't even have like the face guard.
Yeah, they didn't have the shields quite by then.
Back when men were men.
Yeah.
Little 4-year-olds went teeth first into the ice, like a real Minnesota.
Builds character
along the way.
Exactly.
We had a debate earlier, Trudell. So get in on this. So Reese from our social media team was using the men's room, and Ireland came in. They were standing next to each other at the 2 urinals, and they were having a conversation, which is fine by me.
Initiated.
An Ireland initiated conversation that Reese felt a little awkward, but he needed to participate because it was Ireland. DeAndre said that that's kind of awkward. Are you a talker at the urinal sort of guy?
Look, I'm going to back Ireland here, okay, just because that's part of my that's just my instinct on all things.
Sure.
Okay. Now, am I going to just start chatting it up at a urinal? No.
Okay, let me set the stage.
No. But if somebody starts talking to me, I'm the type that doesn't want the other person to feel awkward, so I'll probably talk back.
I am standing. You walk in. Yep. I am already standing there, and you stand next to me. Do you say nothing to me?
No, I do the like, hey, what's up, man? Like, but not, but just like,
but if I said to you, oh, hey, man, good to see you, excited for the game night, you're gonna chat.
I'm not gonna exactly. I'm not gonna make you feel like however you initiate that, but that's for me as bathroom.
You're
etiquette,
gonna let me lead the dance.
Is that I don't necessarily want to talk.
Okay.
And honestly, that's more extended. I don't know if you've experienced this, especially as a broadcaster, like somebody like you that's been in the air forever.
Mm-hmm.
Because you talk so much at your job, do you find yourself talking less like in line at Target or whatever?
1,000,000,000%.
Okay, because that's been how I've found. And Andy, same with you. You've got a microphone in front of your face forever, and you were an actor also. I don't know if people know that.
Yes.
I feel like I've gotten less friendly almost every year.
I don't think it's friendly. I think it's just I don't have to fill the empty space.
Okay.
I would, if you want to engage, I will engage. But I am perfectly happy to stand in line at Target for 10 minutes and not say a word.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's unfriendly.
There's a reason that IRL, like when I'm out in the wild, I have my earbuds in at all times.
That's a good defense
mechanism.
mechanism.
All times.
Yeah.
Like, it is the best way to avoid unwanted conversation. And then occasionally, in some ways, you do the like pointing, like I'm on the phone.
So
I'm listening.
Okay. I will do that occasionally, but it's under specific sets of circumstances, like out in the wild, like you're talking about, the grocery store, whatever it may be. I'm fine because I know that is a very limited point of time. It's that one where you get stuck in your front yard or on a walk or somewhere where you run into somebody. That may not end for who knows how long. That is the
Oh,
yeah,
I gotta take this.
I've got a neighbor, super nice guy.
They're all nice.
But I mean, this guy has been my neighbor for probably about 20 years. He must be like, that dude is never not on the phone. That dude
you
is
got a
on
lot
the
of things
phone.
you got to take
He
care
is
of.
on the phone constantly.
All right, so Giannis tonight against the Lakers. Prediction: is Giannis on the Bucks at the end of the season?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
You think so too? You think is he there for the foreseeable future? Because there's been a lot of noise around it, but it doesn't seem like it's picked up a ton of speed.
I think the point where it becomes interesting is if he turns down an extension, which Milwaukee could then read as, okay, now we have to trade him. So he doesn't have, and this is kind of the whole conversation he had with Sam Amick at The Athletic, where Sam was trying to pin him on the, okay, but what? And Giannis was basically using semantics to say, like, well, we'll see. But and I get it. He doesn't want to be the bad guy and say that he wants to be in a different place, a different market. And nobody really knows. But typically, right, that's the same kind of thing like Trae Young. He didn't come to an agreement on an extension with Atlanta.
Though I think in that case, Atlanta did not want to offer him one.
And whether it's, but either way, it wasn't, once it's not signed with either party, right, then more often than not, a move is going to happen. And so if that happens, like, to me, the best way for Giannis to actually win would be to take another season in Milwaukee after this one until he becomes a free agent, and then walk into a team that he isn't taking all of the talent off of by trading for him. Now, I don't know if he's got the appetite to do that. It does seem a little bit more like...
How old is he? Is he 30?
He's 31.
31? Okay, so he's got some time left, too. And he's won. I think that changes it a little bit, too. The fact that he has won a title, that it's not this... this thirst to get one before he loses his, the best of his ability. I do think, for some guys, and maybe Giannis isn't one of these guys, but to be in one place, not a lot of guys can say that.
And I think that stuff is really cool. I'm not going to tell Giannis how to guide his career or whatever. And if he wants another championship, if it's really important to him to win one more, it is going to be hard to do it in Milwaukee, if for no other reason than they've got dead Dame Lillard money on their books for like the next 5 years. Like that in and of itself is going to make it difficult. I would be surprised if he's traded before the deadline, because if you have to go there, you're going to have more flexibility in the summer, but also, too, after the comments that he just made, and if he's worried about being seen as the bad guy, to get traded within a month of those, I am locked the F in comments.
Yeah, and
that
we'll know,
looks bad.
And we'll know at some point, probably early in the offseason, the word will get out that he is leaning towards or against signing the extension. I think most people around the league expect that he won't. And then that's at that point, then, okay, what's everybody's best option?
And at that point, too, technically speaking, he did not ask for a trade. The Bucks, remember, the Bucks, as Giannis explained this, they're the employees. I mean, the employers. They're the ones with juice. Giannis is just a guy with a name tag, clocking in every day. He does his W-2 at the end of the year. He's a guy with no juice. But if he doesn't do this extension and then the Bucks decide to trade him, that's out of his hands.
What about Morant? Is he on the Grizz at the end of the year, or is he moving?
Well, a lot of the reporting came out today on that. You've been hearing stuff around the league for a while. I don't know, Andy. I would lean more towards something getting mixed up there. In this case,
it feels like.
But I don't have a great target for where
there's not a lot of teams that need point guards
or that have the money to trade for a player like that and then send enough.
He's one of those guys making
back.
like $50 million, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
The one that pops to mind to me, and this had come up before with Trae Young before.
It's $40 million this year, and then it goes up to 42, and then 45.
The one that has popped to mind to me, and this has come up before, and Trae Young had been involved in these sort of conversations until he eventually got moved to the Wizards a couple days ago, would be like the Hornets and the Grizzlies swapping Ja for LaMelo and just kind of taking their two. We don't know what to do with them guys, but it's pretty clear it's not working.
Yeah.
Let's exchange each other's problems, and maybe we both come out of this for whatever reason better.
So the team that has the contracts of like higher contracts for players that aren't necessarily contributing towards winning right now would be Sacramento. And so that kind of thing is interesting only in that, it's a Levine or it's guys like that. It's DeRozan, right? It's even Sabonis who could end up being out for the rest of the season because he has a meniscus tear, if I'm correct, and he's trying to basically say that he can rehabilitate it and then come back and play. Usually what happens with that is that you have to get surgery at some point. You can come back, but it's still bothering you. So like that type of situation, I guess you could see something happening. But that team's not going to actually win this, and they have their own pick. So that's tricky. Now, Minnesota is one of the few teams without a point guard. Hit me, DeAndre.
Do it.
Thank you. Usually he's on top of it for me with the Minnesota shouts. With the problem there is that they only have kind of good players.
Yeah.
And so if they have to put a guy like a Naz Reid plus something else, plus a Mike Conley, go back to Memphis, and does that make Minnesota better for sure?
What about Miami?
Somebody brought this up. It might have been you, DeAndre. A couple minutes. Actually, no, Andy said it too. And then I don't think that makes Miami good enough to actually do real damage in the East, and therefore, so what are they giving up in that? Is it like Wiggins? Plus, I might rather have Wiggins.
That's the thing. That's kind of similar to what we're talking about the Lakers. Like, do you just move to moves? Do you move incrementally? Do you get a little bit better? Do you get a lot better? And that's those are the things. Like, especially with a guy like Morant, who's wildly talented, but there comes with all the stuff that comes with Ja, and the fact that he does miss time. He's such a dynamic player when he's right, though, that it just feels like somebody's going to do it because the upside is so significant.
I mean, maybe another team that I've heard come up before, and I know they've got a young point guard in Jeremiah Fears, but I've heard the Pelicans come up like a Zion for Ja type thing, especially because Zion, if say you want to start rebuilding, Zion's contract has all of these outs, like year by year. Like it's actually
in and outs.
I saw an In-N-Out burger truck on the way down here. I was like,
We had one at my high school grad night, an In-N-Out truck. It was fantastic.
The last bar mitzvah I went to had an In-N-Out truck, which I was very appreciative.
Very hard to beat. Very, very hard to beat.
Good,
Little tip or no tip is coming up next. Trudell is here. Andy's in for DeMarco. It's DeMarco and Trav, 710 ESPN. And we know you got a lot of choices when it comes to your legal team, but you need a family, and you need a championship-winning team on your side, and that is exactly what Normand Legal is. It's been a friend of mine and a partner of ESPN LA for over 15 years. And if you've been in an accident, you know what I'm saying is true. It is stressful. It is overwhelming, and people come at you fast, and you're never quite sure what the next step to be or should be is. That's why you got to pick up the phone, and you got to call Normand Legal and Joseph S. Normand. 213-747-1234. 213-747-1234. Or, of course, you can go online at normandlegal.com. You're going to get expert advice. You're talking about millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Joe's going to walk you through the entire process. I could speak to it firsthand. He's just on top of every single detail. And unfortunately, you know this too, accidents can happen at any moment, on the road or off, so be prepared. 213-747-1234 or normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand, where family always comes first.
Hey, it's Julie Mann. Join Travis Rogers, Sua Cravens, and Chris Morales here at Hollywood Park Casino. Starting at 11:30 a.m. is the live countdown kickoff, and watch the Rams Wild Card Watch Party here at Century Bar and Grill. Come here, get your spot early, and you can win tickets, signed autographed memorabilia. Come here and claim your spot. RSVP now at espnla.com. And let's watch playoff football. You don't want to miss it. I'll see you guys there.
A world-class collectible for the world's greatest fan. Don't miss this winning opportunity. Pre-sale is happening now. Go to messywine.com. That's messywine.com. Own the legend.
Let's see here. Good times for mac and cheese. Slip a Wahlburger in there. Cielo for a steak and some vino. Gotta grab a boba from Mosin. Pink coffee for dessert. Yep, that settles it. Can't start my diet until 2027. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo. You want to. The holidays are over. Now it's time to have fun. Get in the car. Head to Morongo. Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
This is the afternoon show with DeMarco and Travis.
Have you slept in silk pajamas yet?
No.
Try it.
Really?
You'll be like, what was I thinking?
Really?
Yeah.
You are hanging out with the Rams Super Bowl champ and Sweet Tea.
You guys like silk, right? No?
Back to the guys.
That happened quickly. Indiana 7, Oregon 0. My eyes are bad, guys. Is that 11 seconds into the game? I think
that is 14:49 on the clock,
yeah,
Travis.
11 seconds into the game. Indiana is ahead 7-0. Dante Moore threw a pick six, and Indiana's kicking off again. So this is their second kick in the first couple of seconds of the game, and Indiana's just been steamrolling everybody all year long. They're the best team by a mile. Doesn't mean they'll win tonight necessarily, but they're way better than everybody else.
I mean, that coach, I guess, just really knows what he's doing in terms of recruiting and coaching and all of it, because that turnaround happened fast. Indiana, I went to a Big Ten school, and Indiana was always like the worst team. And I went to the one that is small and private.
For 100 years, they were the worst team.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, they're just amazing. Like,
Oregon's making a comeback right there, though. The Oregon cheerleaders are on the field, and they're doing their thing.
What's crazy, too, is
they haven't lost hope.
No.
College football is one of those things where, there are, 15 teams that think that they should be the best, right? There's USC and Notre Dame and Penn State and every SEC school,
Alabama,
and Ohio State and Michigan, and they all think they have the birthright to it, and yet here comes Indiana and just hires the guy that apparently has just done better than all of them.
I want to get into this, Lou. It's one of the things we talked about before the show, that what Kurt Cignetti has been able to do.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that the concept of Boise State being good at football would have seemed ridiculous.
But they weren't doing this. They went from who the heck is that to they were in important games, but they weren't threatening to win national championships.
Yeah, they weren't beating Alabama.
No, I understand that. But the point being, teams can just come out of I did not know until that point that Boise State existed. I didn't know that was a thing. And then all of a sudden it was a thing. And then fields started becoming blue and all that stuff.
You guys got a team. That's really cool. Good job.
Have either of you guys read anything or heard some like a real college football person, right? And you've probably had somebody in your show, but what is he doing? Why has it worked this fast?
Well, to hear him, he just has a formula that really works, and not the Google me thing. He has methodologies that everywhere he's gone has borne fruit. And I don't know if that's schematic. I don't know if that's weight training. I don't know if that's a recruiting way that they do it. But when everywhere you go, you're really, really good, that means you know how to put players in positions to succeed. And, I mean, Indiana, that would. I'm trying to think of the equivalent. It would be if, like, all of a sudden Oregon State was the best football team in the country. It just doesn't make any sense. And here we are.
So, Andy, what amount of number, or sorry, what amount of number? I'm thinking from a USC perspective here, and this is kind of a dumb question, but how many of these ADs and sort of the important alumni are like, can we just give this dude $100 million? Like, has he already gotten to that point where all of these big programs are and this is assuming that they go and not just beat Oregon here, but then crush Miami and break Sedano's heart. Is that is that on the USC? Are there emails going around right now? Are you getting? Are they asking you for small donations?
I am not looped into that circle. Unfortunately, they're not interested in my opinion. Nor do they consider me like a.
Wouldn't they take a couple $100 from you?
They don't consider me much of like a booster slush fund access point.
He just re-signed, right? He just did a new contract extension. Signetti did, but you look at what teams like LSU were doing for Kiffin. I mean, they didn't care. They just take all the money. We'll go get it done. I certainly be worth a call.
Well, it would be really interesting to hear from some of these super rich booster alums from SC. Like, okay, if we knew we could get Signetti, we knew this, how much would you be willing to kick into Lincoln Riley's buyout? Because I know this. I know that the USC community is not happy with the Lincoln Riley era. Like, that has become incredibly obvious. I know his buyout is really big, and you always hear about, like, contributions coming from the outside and whatever. It's a big buyout. And if you're going to do something like this, you have to know there's going to be a purpose for your money. You don't want to just light it on fire.
It is a far better investment than investing in NIL. That having a guy like Signetti, who almost regardless of the price tag, has proven if I show up, your team gets better. We're going to win a whole bunch of games. So as opposed to buying this 5-star or that 5-star, because that guy could turn around and leave in half a second. And I guess theoretically a coach could too. But if you have pockets like SC has, or like Ohio State or LSU, and they're willing to do it, you're not going to get outbid. And I think the return on investment on a coach like that is far better than any
also,
player.
too, generally speaking, USC is the type of school that you bail out on your other school to go to.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying there aren't better programs than SC, right? I mean, clearly there are. But there are not that many schools that are more prestigious that you feel like I got to bail. There aren't that many schools you're like, I got to bail out on USC to go to this school.
It's funny. I was watching last night's game, the Miami Ole Miss game, and you guys watched it too. Michael Irvin was practically sitting on Mario Cristobal's shoulder. Like, he was directly behind him, and he was in full Michael Irvin mode. I mean, you couldn't miss him. And there wasn't hey, is that Michael Irvin? It was Michael Irvin. You knew who it was. And I was struck by it because when you think of Miami football, Michael Irvin's one of the first names that's going to pop in your head. Him, Ray Lewis, there's a bunch of them, but he's right near the top of the list. You were talking about SC a second ago. Where are the SC people? And I don't know if that's Lincoln Riley hasn't asked them. I don't know if they don't want to be there, but like seeing Michael Irvin representing Miami, being excited about Miami, jumping around and going nuts like Michael Irvin does about Miami is super on brand for Miami. Where's Key? Where's Marcus Allen? Where's Reggie Bush? Where's Leinart? Where's Carson Palmer? Where are these guys that have gone and done all of this stuff and be there and say, hey, we are USC? Because they haven't been for a really long time. And seeing Irvin jump around out there, like, why doesn't it? Because SC could roll out the most prestigious alumni you could ever imagine.
Well, I mean, I want to preface this. I do not know any of this for a fact. But based on the reactions that we've seen from Key, from a guy like Petros, like the higher profile guys that are in front of a mic lately that played for USC football, kind of that generation, they're all mad about the USC Notre Dame thing. Like, it has universally been panned. I have not, other than I think maybe Matt Leinart, I don't want to say happy about it, but I guess sort of like trust the school. I saw a comment basically along those lines. I'm going to trust these people that they know what they're doing.
Earned the trust lately.
I'm not saying Matt Leinart's right. I'm just saying that's the only high-profile person USC football that I've heard even sort of defend the school. My guess is a lot of them, and it's purely a guess, don't want to be seen as propping up Lincoln Riley. They don't want to be seen as propping up this era because they're unhappy with it.
Boy, if I were Riley, I would be making every phone call possible to get my Michael Irvin. And look, you don't have to do the Michael Irvin, but just be whoever it is you are. Because remind people, it's been a really long time since SC's been a player at the highest level. It's been 20-plus years. Remind people that this isn't hey, we're trying to get to this level. We were this level for a long. Hey, there's Reggie Bush. He won a Heisman Trophy.
That era is part of what you think about with the glory and history of USC is the matchup against Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And I would imagine, and again, this is pure speculation on my part. I've not talked to a single USC football alum about this, but I'm just guessing based on the reaction. There would be some concern about I don't want to be seen as approving of what's happening right now, or they don't seem happy about this.
No.
Well, the first thing I would say is that they have to get to a game first that sort of justifies their presence. And therefore, like Michael Irvin wasn't at a game 4 weeks ago, right? Like he was at the game when they actually got to the games that count.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if USC got back to a game that counted, all of a sudden maybe you see Leinart the first one, and then the whole cavalry comes for the rest of it. And then secondly, shout out to Leinart because his 5-year-old played on my 5-year-old's baseball team this fall and last spring.
Yeah.
So they're
good hitter.
Good everything. Yeah. Solid player.
Lefty.
I think he's a righty actually. But it's a good question because Maz obviously throws.
I'm going to need some youth sport tales from both of you. I need to live vicariously through other people. I miss it. I miss it deeply.
But hopefully USC will actually get to that point at some point.
What they have to sell. Let me rephrase. One of the things they have to sell is this incredibly rich tradition that it just struck me seeing Michael Irvin and I get it. I understand not wanting to endorse this for whether it's the Notre Dame reasons, whether it's the lack of success, whatever it be. But man, if it just came to let's try to kickstart this thing, let's try to jumpstart it and remind people about who we are and what we've accomplished. I would make sure that game by game, I got a heavy hitter standing on that sideline that they're going to cut away to, or you can't. I mean, you couldn't miss Michael Irvin last night.
Well, I mean, you can't make any of these guys show up. But then also, I mean, this just popped into my head. If you're Reggie Bush and the way the school has treated you for like the last couple decades, how open are you going to be to just showing up to help prop up and sell this rough era when they left you out to dry and made you the scapegoat of all these things for a couple decades running?
Don't forget, you can enjoy, or I should say join, I'm sure you'll enjoy it as well. You can join and enjoy DeMarco and Sua live next Wednesday, January 14th from 3 to 6 at Sleep Number in Torrance on PCH. You can win tickets to the next Rams game at SoFi, a signed Matthew Stafford jersey or a Kyron Williams jersey, and you get to hang out with Rams Super Bowl champ DeMarco Farr, powered by Sleep Number. Sleep next level, perform next level. We're going to call that Tip or No Tip, brought to you by the Law Office of Joseph S. Normand, 213-747-1234. Oregon at least did not throw another pick six, so we're getting some sort of real football game. The problem, the college football's got a million problems. The problem is these games are really fun. They're really, like that game last night was awesome. That was just fun. I know that half those guys on that field are going to be on different teams next year, but it's stupid, but the game was awesome. It's really fun. And when the games are that good, it's like, what are you going to do?
Survive and advance works in almost anything.
Yeah.
And like the regular season stuff, especially with why is USC in New Jersey right now or wherever playing a conference game? But yeah, if you can get to the point where Team A plays Team B, the loser goes home, and you guarantee to get everybody's absolute best, it's going to work.
Look, you see this up close firsthand. Like, no matter what we maybe in media of a certain age or fans of a certain age think of it, the NBA players care about the NBA Cup.
100%.
And that's only been around a couple years, but it is survive and advance.
Yeah,
once you start getting into those rounds, they get into it.
Is it just because of the money?
No, it's just the I think it's human nature, like survive and advance. Like there is something primal about that. If you win this, you get to move on. And sure, the stakes can vary, and sometimes it's money, sometimes it's prestige, sometimes it's future, whatever it might be. But like this works on kids. This is why you spoke about youth soccer, youth whatever practices or youth any youth games. It's like youth practices are basically trying to convince kids why they should be there and having fun. And to do that, usually it's about setting up some sort of a stake in some sort of a game within the practice. How are you going to get better with your footwork? Well, here, if kid A goes against kid B and kid A advances to the next round, they're going to both try a little harder. So I just think it's a primal thing in sports, and the easiest way to boil that down is to create the elimination part of it.
Dante Moore just missed a reasonably open receiver in the end zone that will play another.
Ooh, can I ask you one last Michael Irvin question?
Yes.
First of all, I am pro ex-athletes on the sideline in general.
Me too.
Do you think any of the current players are kind of like, you showed Michael Irvin 37 times. I just scored 2 touchdowns. You haven't talked about me yet. Do you
100%.
think there's any of that going on? Because I'm like, as somebody that didn't watch a lot of Miami, I'm kind of like, oh, this guy's pretty good. Where is he going to go in the draft? And then they're showing Michael Irvin again. And I'm like, I just thought that was interesting. As somebody that's pro Michael Irvin.
I like Michael Irvin too, but I would be, if I were the guy scoring the touchdown or throwing I'd be like, I'm right here, guys. I would get my feelings on that.
I mean, this is one of the inherent disadvantages of football in terms of stardom. Your biggest moments, you got a helmet on.
Yep.
People can't see your face. Yeah. Michael Irvin doesn't have a helmet on.
No, he doesn't.
Like, you know exactly who he is.
And he knows where to stand, too. He has TV presence for sure. Oregon with a response. Little touchdown drive. If they make the kick, it'll be 7-7. 7-6 right now. Indiana up early in the first quarter. We're going to come back, and Trudell mentioned a second ago, my favorite thing in the world to talk about. The Dodgers won something else. That's coming up next. Andy's in for DeMarco.
What else is new?
Yeah, there you go. DeMarco and Trav, 710 ESPN.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
Park Party Play. Join Travis Rogers, Sua, and me, Chris Morales, for the ultimate ESPN LA Rams watch party during Wild Card Weekend. We're live from Hollywood Park Casino this Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for pregame, halftime, and postgame coverage. Cheer on the Rams and win exclusive prizes. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's Bethel Duran, and it's time to celebrate the new year with a new truck from Northridge and Wonders Toyota. Right now, lease a brand new 2025 Toyota Tacoma for just $84 a month for 36 months plus tax. And if you're thinking about a trade-in, your current ride could be worth more than you think. Northridge Toyota, Wonders Toyota, they make it easy.
Tacoma model 7162G, VIN number 3TYJDAHN 1ST037657. These excludes tax, title, license, registration fees, dealer options, and charges. $59.95 due at signing, $84 per month. Offer expires 1/31/2026.
For a century, the Genesis Invitational has stood as one of golf's greatest stages, where the game's legends make their mark and history is written.
It's official. The round that will long be remembered. Oh, yes! Ludwig Oberg.
February 19th through 22nd, celebrate 100 years of championship golf. Experience the drama, the tradition, and the moments that define the Genesis Invitational. Get your tickets now at genesisinvitational.com.
John Ireland here, and before the lights come up at Crypto.com Arena, make your night legendary at Javier's downtown. A SoCal tradition for decades, Javier's is where timeless recipes meet modern elegance. Handcrafted margaritas, premium tequila, coastal Mexican flavors, always a part of the celebration. Whether you're courtside or catching a concert, start your evening where LA gathers for that unmistakable Javier's experience. Javier's newest location is just steps from the arena. Javier's downtown. Tradition, taste, and an amazing start to your evening.
It's DeMarco Farr and Travis Rogers.
You sleep naked?
I do. Completely unencumbered.
He likes to be free.
Put him on the ball.
Afternoons with DeMarco and Travis rolls on.
So if you and I are on the road, we get caught in the same motel, and we got to share a room.
Yeah.
You can't sleep unless you're naked.
I would prefer to be unencumbered.
Back to the guys.
Ducks and what are they? The Hoosiers? The Hoosiers. It's 7. I almost said Pacers. I'm like, I'm crossing the stream. So I'm looking at Trudell. I'm thinking NBA. And so I'm getting all confused here. Trudell's here. AK is here for DeMarco. The Rams are in Carolina tomorrow. They'll kick off Wild Card Weekend. Don't forget that pregame show starts at 11:30 in the morning at Hollywood Park Casino. I'm going to be there. Sue is going to be there. Morales is going to be there. We're going to stay there all day long. We'll watch the game with you. So if you want to come on out and watch the Rams in Carolina tomorrow, you can do that at HPC at 11:30.
Andy, were you like me getting a little bit mad at Travis for stepping all over Tribe Called Quest? Clearly, they played
fairness to
just
Travis,
for you and me.
In fairness to Travis, he has
can
no
I just
idea
hear
who
the
that
song?
is. He doesn't
He
know.
does. He knows who Tribe Called Quest is, just by being around probably me and you.
I'm going to have to. You're both right.
Yeah.
I know that there is a band called Tribe Called Quest. If you said to me, here are
group
3
more than a
songs, a
band.
group, sure.
Yeah.
There are 3 songs. Tell me which one of these is Tribe Called Quest. I have 0. I have a 1 in 3 chance.
So we're okay.
I know they exist on the earth, unlike Andy and Boise State.
Yeah.
But
is that in Montana?
But I do not know their music by
if we
sound.
had put 3 different tracks.
Yeah.
One is hip hop.
Yes.
One is like metal.
Yes.
One is country. And we said pick Tribe Called Quest.
Oh yeah, I get that right.
Yeah.
And if you put 3
he knows it's
hip-hop
rap,
tracks,
basically. Yeah.
and you had like Biggie and I don't know, pick somebody else.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Tupac.
Yeah. Or Jay-Z and Tribe Called Quest, I would know it because I know the other 2.
Process of elimination.
Yeah. So it'd be like,
Okay.
if you know A and B aren't right, guess it's C and D. So that's
So
how
you
I
could
would
probably
get
get some like Eminem.
I would get Eminem.
Yeah,
I
you
know
could
what
get
his I know what his voice
Yeah.
sounds like.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
But that's the high water mark.
Yeah,
Music
he
is
wasn't
none of my business.
It wasn't about him not giving enough respect to Tribe. He just had no idea that Tribe was being played.
That.
Yeah, I mean this comes up a lot on the Laker bus, like when Michael Thompson bring up a TV show X from the '60s, and like there are a couple that I've heard
recent?
of,
Yeah.
right? Based on my dad may have watched the Dick Van Dyke Show or told me who Mary Tyler Moore was.
Right.
So like I'm like, okay, so there's a part of my brain
context
where I can kind of
clues.
pick it out of. Yeah, I could by deductive reasoning,
Yes.
I can get there, but I definitely didn't watch any of them.
Your
you know?
Mary Tyler Moore is my Tribe Called Quest.
okay, gotcha.
So that's how that works
That's
out.
one of the things Andy and I have bonded over
Yes.
over the years.
I have an awesome Tribe Called Quest T-shirt that Trudell gifted me. He had an
Oh,
extra
nice.
one, and he saved it for me, and I was very appreciative.
It used to bother me that I didn't know, and now I've entered the point in my life where I'm like, I don't know. What do you want from me?
Yeah, I'm getting there fast.
Yeah,
It seems comforting.
It's liberating.
Yeah,
Music
it's
is
not
none
so
of your
bad.
music is none of your business.
None of my business. None of my business. So they did a poll of MLB executives and had them rank minor league systems, farm systems. Dodgers were number 1.
No way.
That is not how this is supposed to go, right? The way that it's set up in just about every sport is the better you are, the lower you pick, right? And theoretically, the lower you pick, the less access you have to good players because the other teams are going to get to pick first, right? Think of PE back in elementary school. You pick 10th, you're not going to get the same guy that picked first. They pick last or close to last every year, and they have a better minor league system than the 29 teams that pick ahead of them. You're supposed to be really good and thin in the minor leagues or very fat in the minor leagues with a lot of prospects, and you're developing at the major league level. You are not supposed to have both of those things.
Can
at the top.
I follow up with a question for you? In trying to differentiate baseball prospects, basically from say basketball prospects,
Yes.
right? Where we hear a lot about basketball prospects, they're on Instagram when they're 10, right? There isn't an Instagram, at least that I follow, that has like the latest 10-year-old shortstop from the Dominican or whatever. Now there probably exists, but I'm saying that goes.
Yeah.
It's not on TikTok, right?
It's not.
Kids aren't necessarily seeing the dunk high. So therefore, is the gulf between the first pick and the 30th pick in baseball potentially a lot smaller than the first pick in basketball and the 30th pick in basketball, where like one player makes more of a difference and there aren't as many positions. So do you see what I'm getting at?
I understand exactly your point, and you're right, but it's not to where 1 in 30. It's basically a toss up between both of them. Picking first is still an advantage. Picking in the top 10 is much better than picking in the bottom, 21 through 30.
Ooh, really?
So-
how many of the current Dodgers would you say went in like the top 10 or 15? Like Mookie, Freddie.
Well, okay,
so those
Freddie,
types.
I think, was a second-round pick. I think Mookie was, but again, they were picked by other teams. They weren't drafted
No,
by the
I just
Dodgers.
meant more for like the talent.
Yeah.
you know,
So
how
Kershaw
much-
was a first-round pick.
Yeah.
I think Mookie was a second-round pick. I think Freddie was a second-round pick. Will Smith was a first-round draft pick. Dustin May was a first-round draft pick. Walker Buehler was a first-round draft pick. So first-round draft picks are far more likely to end up in the major leagues than others. But
top 10 versus being 25 or 30, or is there?
even so,
Okay.
yeah. And they've gotten much better at it over the years. But I think what's interesting is this isn't just where the Dodgers hit on a couple. This is the Dodgers have been the best team or close to it for 15 years. They've been picking at the back for 15 years, and their funnel is still more full than anyone else's, according to other baseball executives. And this is the thing that I find so interesting and what I wanted to talk about. Salary something is coming, whether that's a salary cap or aprons that we talk about in the NBA or more severe taxes if you go over a certain threshold. Something is coming sooner than later. And this idea that the Dodgers have gotten to the top of this by just simply the power of the pocketbook is partially true, but it's not entirely true. That even with the restraints that are inevitably going to show up sooner than later, they're showing systems that continue to produce players at a rate, and those players may not all flower at the major league level with the Dodgers, but they flip them. They send, I need a Max Scherzer and a Trey Turner here. Take 2 or 3 of these guys. I'll take your guys. Hey, I need to go and get the next I need to get Mookie Betts. Okay, here, take these guys, and we'll take your. It cuts both ways.
And then those teams can sell it better because we're getting a Dodger prospect. Yeah.
And I'm really curious as to, and to kind of finish the thought, the procedures that they've put in place that have allowed them to accomplish what we're talking about is by being smarter and better at drafting, developing, and organizing. When does that start to happen with the Lakers? The brain power, and I'm not saying Mark Walter or Andrew Friedman specifically, but the methodologies that they've employed that have been really successful for a decade and a half, when can you start to do that over here?
When you start seeing more hiring. I mean, like the first step, and I don't mean this to say that I think Jesse Buss was doing a bad job. I actually think Jesse was good at his job. And I think, generally speaking, drafting has been one of the Lakers' bigger strengths over the last 10 or so years. But the powers that be decided they want to go in a different direction. They obviously need to bring in new people because it's a big part of what you're talking about. It's identifying talent, and then at the G League level, it's developing that talent. It's building out more of a front office. Like, even if you think Rob Pelinka is the greatest GM in the NBA, criminally underrated, doesn't get his deserved respect, it's too big of a job for as small of a front office as they have. Like, it's a big disadvantage that they've had for a while. You need more people doing all this stuff because with the Dodgers, it's not just that they pick right.
Right.
You have to pick well. You have to develop well. And sometimes I guarantee, they are developing players in ways that may offset some of the inherent flaws those players had. Like, there are all these different steps, and all of them require really digging down on the details. And it's been one of my big criticisms of the organization over like the last 10 or so years, and honestly, a lot with Rob. I don't think they've always been detail-oriented enough. One of the big things that I expect moving forward with Mark Walter, because I think they're going to put more money behind this, is you're going to see just more details in general being really, really coveted.
So the question itself is interesting, and I kind of alluded to this earlier, but just the difference between baseball prospects, basketball prospects, one player making more of a difference.
Yeah.
But I think the point, the way that I'm understanding your point is that the Dodgers have basically optimized all of it. Right?
That's exactly.
Right? So
I'm not saying that they're going to draft better, deeper. But the point is, the systems in place are generating better results more consistently.
And so in the NBA, I think that the team or like the front office that seems to get the most credit, and I think a lot of it is fair, would be OKC right now for basically optimizing everything that they can in the front office. Now, I would argue that a big stroke of that happened because of that trade with Paul George, and that where Shea goes and Shea turns into an MVP candidate. OKC didn't know that at the time. If the Clippers knew that, obviously they wouldn't have done the deal. And but the 4 picks that went with it, and then them getting, like, they made
one of them turned into Jalen Williams, I believe.
Yes, and so it just, like, it's a little bit, it's not the exact same as, the Cowboys and Herschel Walker, but like when you start at that kind of an advantage and then you're able to build tentacles off it, and like, so I do think they've had some advantages in building out the system there, but they also have had to optimize things a certain way, thinking that we're not going to get a free agent that's going to walk in here.
That's what's so interesting to me, and that's why the Laker thing and the Dodger thing, I think, are so fascinating, because the advantages that the Dodgers have are the advantages that the Lakers have. That it is prestigious to wear a Dodger uniform. It is prestigious to wear a Laker uniform. You can attract free agents to come to your team where OKC has one way to do this.
And
if you don't hit it it ain't happening.
And
the Dodgers have a two-way go. The Lakers have a two-way go. They're in a unique position to do it.
And so I think, look, the bottom line is, and it seems like everything that you hear about Mark Walter and the ownership group, from the Dodger perspective, regardless if it's a different sport, is that it's been great. And so excellent. Like whatever the plan is that they have in mind, I think is going to benefit the Lakers in the long term.
Yeah.
But I also think just by being the Lakers, you can't necessarily run the whole franchise the same way that Oklahoma City does, because you have to keep a couple of things sort of not open, but a little bit open, because you are going to be able to get the big fish. And so therefore, like it's just a little bit of a different way of developing versus like you kind of have to, like, if you think you can get a guy, your roster, you kind of have to keep a little bit.
Here's the thing, though,
sacred on the roster.
I think you have to. This is where I think the Lakers have gotten themselves in some trouble, because I feel like they lean too much towards the idea of we will always be able to get that star, or free agency is going to be that avenue. And
it's worked out pretty well for them overall, though.
But they haven't gotten that many big free agents. I mean, like, they really haven't. It's LeBron, it's Shaq.
Well,
and everyone else has basically been trades,
yes,
or guys they've developed.
That's a form of trading in that way is a form of free agency,
right? But it's
like
not.
Pau
But it's
Gasol
not,
and Anthony Davis would have come to the Lakers if they hadn't been traded when they became free agents. The teams, they told their teams, we're not staying here. I'm going to the Lakers. That's the same thing.
But we haven't seen them actually land a lot of free agents. If you want to say
there aren't free agents anymore.
But that's also where I was going with this. The NBA is shifting in ways that free agency becomes less and less of a way of obtaining players. Players tend to sign extensions, and then they'll figure out the rest later. They want to get that contract in hand. And also, too, and this is something that I think relates back to the idea of the scouting department and development, and just having more people involved, period. I think the Lakers, given the new CBA, and where also we're seeing these teams now develop, they build teams in very long view fashion, and there is an impetus now towards speed and athleticism and youth. The Lakers are going to have to start treating their potential draft picks more like actual players, and start prioritizing developing them as actual players, as opposed to it always being about who are we going to flip these guys for. Because, look at where they are right now with the stuff that you need to put around Luka and presumably Austin. You need defense. You need athleticism. You need shooting. You need as many players that can do as many of those things as possible. Those players cost a lot of money. You need to try to find cost-controlled access to that, which I don't mean never use any of their picks moving forward to trade for someone, but I don't think it can be. I think they have, over like the last 10 or so years, primarily thought of young players more along the lines of who can we turn them into. I'm not saying there's obviously exceptions, but for the most part, I think that's the way they've thought about it. I think they're going to have to shift their thinking more, which makes me excited about Mark Walter and this new ownership group, because I think they will buff out a front office, scouting department, all of that stuff.
That's the thing that kind of, to tie all this stuff back together, that is fascinating to me, because it allows you to do it kind of both ways that you're talking about. That let's get more people that are good at what they do, that have good ideas, that are smart. I'm not saying that the people there that aren't good now.
No, this can include Rob Pelinka.
Let's bring in more people, because the Dodgers are doing a thing that I think is fascinating. You look at the Dodger team right now. If they're not the oldest team in baseball, they're damn close. You start looking around at their very best. Freddie Freeman is past 35 years old, right? Yep. Mookie Betts is over 30 years old. Shohei Ohtani is over 30 years old. Will Smith is no longer, he's not an old player, but he's not a young player anymore either. He's been
put
around.
On a lot of mileage as a catcher.
Max Muncy is in his 30s, like the core of this team. Now they've kind of swapped out a lot of the pitching, that Snell and Glasnow and Yamamoto and Sasaki. That is a little bit younger than it is, but the core of their offense is aging quick. Now it's still elite, but we've seen it happen when it goes. Mookie had a bad year last year. Maybe it was a bad year. Maybe it was the beginning of a different sort of player. We'll find out. But that they can backfill this at the same time is not how this is traditionally supposed to go.
It's a robust discussion, too, because I'm thinking about, so when did things really change like they did? And we would think, okay, so Andrew Friedman came over, right? That he certainly gets a lot of the credit. Now, how much of that's the ownership group and empowering him? A lot. But having one executive at the top who's really good at delegating, I don't know, does that make a difference if he has 50 people versus 30 people? Sometimes it's hard to tell a little bit. Like what the Lakers have done, though, you've got LeBron James, the ultimate free agent acquisition. You've got Austin Reeves, who you actually got to come to your team undrafted. And then you've got Luka Doncic, who you made a pretty good move to trade for. So those are kind of like the three ways. And so those are all A+ in the ways that you do it. Now, how do you fill in the roster around it? Some hits, some misses, right? Not perfect. OKC has had some hits, some misses. But they've had a lot more irons in the fire. They've got a lot more chances, partly because of those imbalanced trades that they made in the past.
That's the point that I think that where it really lines up. I got a lot of shots at this. It isn't I got this thing I can try. I'm going to give it a shot. If it works, great. Everybody's happy. If not, back to the drawing board.
But part of the way you get a lot of shots out in the NBA, though, like the Spurs did, like OKC did, is that you tank for multiple years. And the Lakers aren't really doing that.
But like I said, they have to be, I think, more open to the idea of, especially with Luka. And I'm not saying to just take Luka for granted. You should be looking to aggressively try to put the best team around Luka as possible. But Luka's age allows you some runway and the ability to actually take a beat and develop and build something with sustainability.
And optionality, and not necessarily by a player here or there, but just the different ways to get there.
Part of the frustration I've had with the way the Lakers have often built over the last several years is it's felt like they've never been willing to, if needed, take a step back in order to take a step forward. It's always been, we need to be as close to winning a championship as possible, even if we're not really that close. We need to always be as close as possible, and you don't move in any discernible direction. You don't build towards anything. Like, I think one of the things that the Lakers are really going to benefit from, to be totally honest, I'm expecting with this new ownership group, you're going to have some outside voices. You're going to have some people who have not been doing things the Laker way forever. Like people who have no connections to this organization whatsoever. They need some
perspective.
They need some outside experience and perspective.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
Look, if you got a team that, like the Kansas City Chiefs or the Dodgers in baseball, or that if it just keeps working, then great. Keep doing it the way you're doing. But when the results change, then.
And again, that can all include Rob Pelinka.
Sure.
Like that doesn't mean Rob has to go, just so that's clear for a lot of the audience. Like he can stay and be a part of that. There just needs to be more.
So just to kind of put the final button on the Dodger thing, other than just it's sports and anything can happen, is there any, the most likely thing, if you're kind of power ranking the reasons the Dodgers would not three-peat, the answer to the question is their stars are old. Mookie was not just having a bad year, he's in decline. Freddie Freeman is showing his age.
How old is Mookie?
Mookie's 31, 2, 3, something like that. He's neither young nor old. He's kind of in that middle ground where if the graph 33, if the graph started to tip, you wouldn't be surprised.
AD.
Right. That's their most likely outcome of, hey, why are they having such a bad year? Like, assuming health, assuming that guys are going, Shohei's on a different category, so you kind of put him over there.
But as part of that is, like, they also know how long the regular season is, and so maybe you don't get the full ramp up until later.
All of that stuff.
Yeah.
But that they have a potential, I don't know if solutions were at least a different way to fix their aging team is different, because, like, they might lose the World Series or a playoff series just because weird stuff happens. And then they were a cleat length away from losing the World Series. Stuff happens, but it's not because they haven't put the pieces in the right places.
No, competency at the top is a really big deal. And I think, and also just as many voices, as many perspectives, as many smart people. Obviously, you need a flow chart. You need somebody who's a final voice. This is an organization that I think has been for a while just screaming for some fresh perspectives, and they now have it.
So that idea to go back, to go forward, I kind of want to get into that, because you're right, especially those teams in the NBA of, hey, we're going to have to keep our powder dry for a minute so we can be better, maybe not even next year, but maybe 2 years from now. And maybe that, not tanking exactly, but something adjacent to it.
And look, I mean, I would just say, what's the second best country in the world for basketball? I mean, I don't know, I guess maybe France right
Spain?
now. Yeah, probably France.
Okay.
Could you get, like, the 3 best French players in history and defer their money for 20 years and just add them to the Laker roster? That would probably help.
That'd be fun.
That would probably help winning, but NBA doesn't work like that.
Oh, yeah. It's not apples to apples. Like anybody expecting them to be able to operate exactly.
And by the way, I agree with everything that you said. I just that was more of kind of a joke.
I get it.
Yeah, that would help.
But again, these are the ideas that come in. Maybe it's not deferred, but let's think ways to get better.
There's no salary cap
ideas.
on things you can do with your organization. Yeah. It's just what you can use for your payroll.
Are we rooting for Team Japan in the WBC, which starts in a couple of weeks? Because I'm kind of conflicted at this point.
As long as they don't play the USA.
My favorite Dodgers are going to be on that team.
Yeah, it's like anything else, right? It's like I used to work for the Timberwolves. I know a lot of people that are from Minnesota. I root for them if they're not playing the team that pays me.
Yeah,
you know.
I get
that. So in that case, you're USA. You're American. You can't actually root against USA.
We're gonna find out.
I mean,
I'm just saying we're gonna find out. I really like Yamamoto and Shohei, and Roki he's climbing my power rankings as well. One step back to go two step forward. That's coming up next. Andy's here. Trudell, you looks like you're packing up to go.
Yep, I'm in over the arena.
You got it. Thanks for checking in. DeMarco's on the road. AK's here. It's DeMarco and Trav, 710 ESPN.
Join DeMarco and Sua Cravens live Wednesday, January 14th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Sleep Number in Torrance on the PCH. You can win tickets to the next Rams game at SoFi, a signed Matthew Stafford jersey, or a Kyron Williams jersey. And you get to hang out with Rams Super Bowl champ DeMarco Farr, powered by Sleep Number. Sleep next level. Perform next level.
Your Lakers, your season, your home.
Tonight, after a 2-game swing away from LA, the Purple and Gold return to LA Live and are ready to protect their home floor as the Bucks come to town.
Alley-oop to LeBron. Slam dunk. What a pass by Luka.
LA Lakers, Milwaukee Bucks from Crypto.com Arena. Coverage begins tonight at 6 p.m.
The Lake Show lives here. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Did you know that Children's Hospital Los Angeles offers advanced epilepsy care for kids, even when other treatments haven't worked? CHLA's Neurological Institute has Southern California's only all-pediatric Level 4 epilepsy center. That means your child is supported every step of the way by providing the latest therapies and personalized care plans for all of your child's epilepsy needs. So put seizures on the sidelines and help your child get back to being a kid. To learn more, visit chla.org.
John Ireland here for Blue Ice Vodka, America's #1 potato vodka. Smooth, creamy, no burn, made from non-GMO potatoes and gluten-free with no added sugar, just 64 calories an ounce. Blue Ice Vodka, because taste matters.
At Normand Legal, we don't sit on the sidelines. We fight to win for you.
If you've been in an accident, car, motorcycle, truck, or a fall, don't wait. Call Normand Legal right now.
We've helped thousands recover millions in settlements and verdicts, and we'll go full throttle to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Pick up that phone and call 213-747-1234. That's 213-747-1234.
Or visit normandlegal.com. Normand Legal, the winning team fighting for you.
John Ireland here, and before the lights come up at Crypto.com Arena, make your night legendary at Javier's downtown. A SoCal tradition for decades, Javier's is where timeless recipes meet modern elegance. Handcrafted margaritas, premium tequila, coastal Mexican flavors, always a part of the celebration. Whether you're courtside or catching a concert, start your evening where LA gathers for that unmistakable Javier's experience. Javier's newest location is just steps from the arena. Javier's downtown. Tradition, taste, and an amazing start to your evening.
Party play. This wild card weekend, the playoffs coming live at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers, Sua Cravens, and me, Chris Morales, for the ultimate ESPN LA Rams watch party. The ESPN LA crew will be broadcasting live starting at 11:30 a.m. with the pregame, halftime, and postgame shows right from Hollywood Park Casino this Saturday, January 10th. Cheer on our Rams, soak in the excitement, and win exclusive prizes. Hollywood Park Casino, LA's hottest card room, and the only place to party and play 24/7. Must be 21 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For a century, the Genesis Invitational has stood as one of golf's greatest stages, where the game's legends make their mark and history is written.
It's official. The round that will long be remembered. Oh, yes! Ludwig Oberg.
February 19th through 22nd, celebrate 100 years of championship golf. Experience the drama, the tradition, and the moments that define the Genesis Invitational. Get your tickets now at genesisinvitational.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
This is going to be fun. I like this.
It's DeMarco Farr and Travis Rogers.
Isn't it cool?
It's so good.
Afternoons with DeMarco and Travis rolls on.
Hey. Why are you laughing?
Back to the guys.
Tomorrow, me, Travis Rogers, Sua Cravens, Sua, Morales, Hollywood Park Casino.
And
tomorrow.
Emily Hebel.
And Emily. Emily will be there as well. Thank you for reminding me. She will be there 11:30 in the morning, our live countdown to kickoff and Rams wildcard watch party at the Century Bar and Grill at Hollywood Park Casino. Get there early to claim your spot, win tickets or autographed memorabilia, and enjoy buy one, get one free apps while you watch with us. Limit one per person. RSVP right now at ESPNLA.com. Playoff football, don't miss it. Andy, are you coming to see us at HBC?
I would.
Except if it were any other day?
If it was
any other day.
Actually, really, if it were any other day, I am going to be schlepping my daughter around
volleyball
all day. Well, she has volleyball practice, and before then, she has a birthday party with, based on the invitation she sent, sounds like multiple locations.
Oh,
so
fancy.
I'm going to be.
Lily's 15?
14.
14. Okay.
It's not even that it's that fancy of a party. Like none of the.
Are you the chauffeur in this situation?
Until I hear otherwise. Like none of the actual locales are that fancy. Like I think it's starting out like a fast food place, and then they're going ice skating, and and like none of it's that over the top. It does sound fun.
Yeah,
it's gonna have to get from point A to point B to point C, then to volleyball practice. So I believe I am going to be occupied the whole time. I probably will be spending a lot of time in the car watching this game on my phone.
There you go. You're going to be phone watching. Laura, do you have a game plan for watching the game tomorrow?
I do. It's going to be on my phone because I'm a bridesmaid in a wedding, and we have a bridal shower. So I already said, hey, girl.
Is it a women-only bridal shower? Yes. Okay, because they do them co-ed nowadays every once in a while.
No. She's 100%. It's all girls. So I told her, I was like, listen, I know it's part of my thing that I have to do. No, that's a bachelorette. This is bridal
sometimes
shower.
They get weird at the bridal
really?
shower.
Oh, this is my first experience.
Games? Do you play games?
I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna be very present, but not really, because she knows. Yeah. She knows I'm gonna have my little AirPods and my phone. So
women
can't get mad about that.
So Andy, I'm just gonna take a stab here. I have a feeling you've been to your fair share of bachelor parties.
Yeah.
Okay. D, have you been to a lot of bachelor parties?
I have, yes.
Okay. Bachelor parties for men are really simple. We're going to go somewhere, going to drink too much, and see what happens. That's it. When women put together a bridal party they're so elaborate. There's like Susan will still occasionally get invited to one of these things, and it's games, and it's specific menus, and it's specific
That's
dress,
bridal, right?
And bridal and bachelorette. It's like all of these different things, as opposed to just, hey, we're going to all meet down here at like 5, or we're going to meet in Las Vegas or Phoenix or wherever it is you're going to, New Orleans, you're going to go do your party.
New Orleans.
There's no organization in this.
The only time I remember any type of bachelor party that I was invited to that felt like, okay, there was clearly a lot of planning that went into this. An itinerary. A friend of mine from high school had his bachelor party in Iceland.
What?
He had it in Iceland.
That's wild.
Yeah, and
How many people were in the bridal party?
I I don't remember.
Because asking someone to book a trip to Iceland is a real deal.
I could not go. I don't remember the reason I couldn't go, but I couldn't go because I had a legitimate reason.
Yeah.
Was the wedding over there too?
No, the wedding was in New Jersey, and I went to the wedding, but the bachelor party in Iceland.
Were they Icelandic?
No,
no.
I mean, to the best of my knowledge, I know his wife was Italian.
Okay.
And fun story at the wedding. Richard Belzer's brother was there.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's funny.
I hung out and talked with Richard Belzer's brother.
That's great.
She is, to the best of my knowledge, Italian on both sides. I grew up with my friend Rob. I never once heard him talk about his Icelandic heritage.
Okay.
Hey.
Well, you never know.
The thing is, so I went to a wedding last year in Paris because my friend got married and her man's, or now husband, family's over there. Elderly grandma couldn't travel to the States. That was really cool. I don't know if I would do it for a bachelorette party because that's very different. But I will give my friend credit and props because she is like, we're going to San Diego. Next weekend is the bachelorette. We're going to San Diego. She's like, I don't really have a plan. We're just going to eat and we're going to drink.
Perfect.
And I was like, oh.
Who's the maid of honor? Because they're usually the ones that are responsible for choreographing.
She has a twin sister, so
Okay.
I'm guessing it's going to be her twin. And her twin sister was in the Navy, so, she likes the
That's
party.
why she's in San Diego. In the Navy.
I just remembered, actually, too, one of my friends from college, I was actually in his, I was one of his groomsmen. His bachelor party, we went, I want to say, to Tahoe.
Oh, that's a good spot.
that sounds
was
fun.
That's
fun.
a good spot.
One of the groomsmen broke his leg skiing.
That's unfortunate.
So he was actually on crutches during the wedding.
That sucks.
Yes, it did.
That sucks.
But what a story.
D, where are you watching the games?
Sorry, I'm just looking at this Oregon miscues on offense. This is the second turnover that they had right now.
Oh, they're in there deep in their own end, too.
Oh,
yeah.
So-
Indiana's too good to give them
So
chances like that.
this fake play action that they try to do and literally
Did it go off the running back's shoulder
It
when he
did.
went to throw it?
It did.
Oh, look at Lanning. He's sick. That's brutal. That's brutal. You,
So,
don't- you watching the games at home?
I'm
You
watching
with friends?
games at my girlfriend's stepfather's house.
Okay.
Normally, when we do like football Sundays and stuff like that, his brother has a whole bunch of TVs and legit has every single game, and that's pretty
So
much
it's like a sports bar.
damn near, yeah, pretty much. So we're literally gonna have all the
Waiters,
games.
waitresses, hot wings.
No, but we do like like a little potluck and stuff like that in the crock pot. You got some, you make your own nachos and all that stuff. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
you're having the best day. You win.
I'm chilling.
You know what the best
You
thing you'll
definitely
ever
win.
if you open up that lid of the crock pot and you see what's in there. You know what the number one item is that you're there's a tie for three now that I think about it. Three things. There's three. Chili in the crock pot, huge win, stays
That's a
hot
good
the
one.
whole time. You can't. Then you got the little thing, the cheese, the onions, the jalapenos, all that stuff over there. That's really good. If there's a crock pot full of meatballs and there's a bunch of little toothpicks next to them, and you can just one meatball after the next. But the first thing I was going to go with buffalo chicken dip in the crock pot.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I don't want any of that carrot stick, celery stick nonsense.
You don't want carrot-
Give me
oh.
chips, and we're going in.
So you said something that triggered me because you guys know Janice. She used to work here.
Yeah.
Janice threw a big party for her 30th birthday. And Jasmine, who also used to work here, was like, hey, try the meatballs. They're so good. Same thing. Open the crock pot. These little tiny little meatballs look so good.
One biters.
Yes, little
Yeah.
tiny ones. She's like, don't forget the sauce. Looked at the sauce, looked like barbecue, dipped that bad boy in there, ate it, and it was a peanut butter based sauce
Oh,
because
you're allergic.
I'm
too.
allergic. So it was like a German sauce. So now every time I see meatballs, I get like a ugh.
Yeah.
But it's clutch, man. If you have those
German
meatballs,
sauce with peanut
I was going
butter?
to say I don't
Yeah.
associate the Germans with peanut butter, but what do
No.
I know?
her man's German.
Okay.
By the way, when you go like to a potluck and stuff like that, what do you bring? Like when you like they ask you, what do you
I
plan
can
on
bring
bringing?
whatever I like. If you invited me to your house and said, first thing I would do is I'd ask you, what would you like me to bring?
Now I'll tell you straight up, bring whatever you like.
I would make guacamole.
Okay.
Yeah. I would make guacamole because I do a pretty good job with that.
See, like me and my girl, we got invited to a potluck a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and we bought a charcuterie plate and the different
Great
cheese.
choice.
Great choice, right?
Great
we were
choice.
the only ones that were touching it.
Then good for you. Then you get the best stuff because that stuff's always awesome.
I literally everyone like they'll get back, they'll walk past it and like, oh,
So here's the thing. I think that if you
You're
are
cultured.
unfamiliar with charcuterie, you don't quite understand how good it actually is because it looks oddly challenging. You got to I got to put the piece of prosciutto on top of the piece of Gruyere cheese and drizzle the honey and put a little pomegranate. And it seems like a lot of work until you do one, and you're like, that's the greatest thing I've ever had in my life.
The cranberry goat cheese.
Oh, forget it.
So good. So we were talking about this, DeAndre and I, because I ended up throwing holiday party or whatever. I'm the kind of person that if I'm hosting, everything's on me. I know people are gonna say bring yourself, have a good time. And I'm like,
that's when you got to bring wine.
And I was like, don't bring food because the spread was huge. I had so much food left over. So I hate when I tell people, what do you need me to bring? Tell me in advance, because we all have busy lives. It's hard for us to get to the store. And then they're like, no, nothing. We got everything. Then like hours later, like, oh, it's actually going to be a potluck situation. It's like, bro.
Oh, that's just bad hosting.
And I was like, you guys suck. Like, you don't do that.
No, that's
you don't do that. You don't ask the last minute. I'm still going to order something, probably pick it up from the whatever, but I hate when people dump it on you last minute. Like, that is such bad hosting. Don't do that.
That's not good. Number one item on your charcuterie board. This is important. I'm going to judge you a little bit if this were on there or not. You ready?
Okay.
Were there those little teeny tiny pickles?
Okay.
The Cornichons.
I know exactly what you're talking about. So back home, my mom, she's big on that when we have guests over. She always gets the little pickles and stuff like that.
Much.
But however, the plate that me and my girl brought, we did not have those. We did not.
You're judged.
Yeah.
You've just been
judged.
judged.
But the fact that you appreciate the Cornichon on the charcuterie board is really what I was after. That if you would have said, what? Then I would have been like, no. We're going to
know exactly what you're talking about.
We're going to reset.
And I'm not going to lie, I tried it for the first time because I'm not one of those to go out my way and just eat a pickle or anything.
Sure.
But I tell you what, it was really, really good.
Of course it was.
So good. Do you do this? There's at Whole Foods. I've only been able to find it at Whole Foods. It's a spicy habanero jam.
Oh,
it's like a twing tang.
Oh, it's good.
It's like a gold one.
That's good. And the other jam that you got to put on there is the little.
I feel like Travis.
Big jam, yeah.
Travis, I really do feel like you are a fantastic host because you know every little detail when it comes.
I do okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I do okay.
Is it Susan who takes the top notch?
Susan's good at it too, but we together we are very good at that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. If you came to my house for a party, you would have a good time.
I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but I'm the same.
Yeah.
Like everyone that has ever done it, he's like, you just patted yourself.
I was doing a reverse pat. The truth is, I am a good host. If we have people over, I'm a good cook. I will prepare stuff. I don't like people in my home.
It's funny.
Okay.
You know me pretty well.
Yes.
I don't want to say I'm not shut in or anything. I have friends and I socialize, but I don't mind having people. We maybe do it twice a year. We don't do it a lot, but I really do look forward to it.
It might be in part, my wife and I are very different about prepping for this stuff. She will always say, I'm going low key. And Laura, I'm sure you can.
We are not low key.
No,
I say that all the time, but yeah, no.
She and her people are incapable of being low key with
Our
this stuff.
Mexican people are not, true.
Incapable of it. So it starts becoming very stressful because every time she's cleaning, every time she's setting something up, I interpret her body language as I'm doing this because you've either screwed something up.
You've dropped the ball.
You've dropped the ball. You're not doing it well enough. Therefore, I need to do this. So it becomes very stressful for me.
So I just saw Ireland poke his head in. What do you got, Laura?
LeBron is in. For today.
Oh, great news. All right. So
Rui
LeBron,
out, I believe.
LeBron is going to play tonight. That is very good news. And it's the little things that make the difference. Steve.
Right,
It's
man.
the little things like Cornichon. That's why. And when I go, and they have those little things, it's like, oh, it's that next level of thing. That's why I like to do it as well.
Yeah, the Lakers have put out that LeBron is upgraded to available. I had seen a report that Rui had been downgraded to out, but I want to preface by saying I'm not seeing it specifically from the Lakers. So take it with a bit of grain of salt. I would have been surprised I will be surprised if Rui plays. Just because he's not had a full practice with the team yet, I'd be surprised.
So waiting on Rui. LeBron looks like he's going to go, and this college football game is right on the precipice of getting away from Oregon. 21-7, Indiana. Oregon is moving the ball, but they've turned it over twice. A pick six and a fumble deep in their own end have led to a couple of IU touchdowns. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap up the week with a little shop talk coming up next. Andy's in for DeMarco. DeMarco and Trav, 710 ESPN.
This is the Southern California Kia Dealers Rams Report.
Here's Travis Rogers.
The Los Angeles Rams are gearing up for Wild Card Weekend in Charlotte, looking to go to the Super Bowl, start their run for a third Super Bowl under Sean McVay. It's got to start with a win against the Panthers. We got you covered with the Rams Toyota Countdown to Kickoff, which starts at 11:30 Saturday morning with myself, Travis Rogers, and Sua Cravens live from Hollywood Park Casino, then followed by all of your play-by-play action. JB Long, Maurice Jones-Drew, and the Super Bowl champ DeMarco Farr. They will take you through all four quarters, and then immediately following the conclusion of Rams and Panthers, it is the Rams postgame show, again live from Hollywood Park with myself and Sua Cravens. Do the Rams proceed to the division round? Who will they be playing? And unfortunately, maybe a conversation about the season coming to an end. It all starts from Hollywood Park Casino at 11:30 in the morning. With Friday's Rams Report, I'm Travis Rogers.
The Southern California Kia Dealers Rams Report, driven by your Southern California Kia dealers.
Orgavattazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Get ready, SoCal. Hard Rock Casino Tejon is kicking off the new year in high gear. Unity by Hard Rock members can earn entries all January long for the $500,000 Drive the Dream Corvette giveaway just by using their card. Join us every Thursday in January for your chance to win big, including $30,000 in free play each week. Start the year with more excitement and more ways to win. Details at casino.hardrock.com/Tejon. Hard Rock Casino Tejon. This is how SoCal plays.
The most trusted jingle in Los Angeles has a new number.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob 1-800-345-6789. Call Jacob.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installation with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
This is the afternoon show with DeMarco and Travis.
I love a good fruity cocktail. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You look like a fruity cocktail guy.
I will have one.
DeMarco and Travis is on right now.
I do like a fruity cocktail, and one is great, two's okay.
I need to bring you guys boozy great.
Yeah, so you just marinate them in there?
Yeah,
They just kind of soak in there?
I'm going to do the two different ones. So it's the Prosecco alone and then the Prosecco and gin. I think you would like those better.
Yeah, Prosecco and gin is like a French soda. That's champagne and gin. And who doesn't like that?
It's so good.
Who doesn't like that?
So good.
All right, on this day, and Andy, I'm going to ask you one here. And if you think about this, you may get it right. What year do you think it was that the NFL put in the rule where you were no longer allowed to grab your opponent's face mask?
1964.
Really close. 1962. Yeah. And I don't know when face masks first started showing
for several years you couldn't do it because it was a leather helmet with no mask.
Right, but that seems to me like the very first person to put one on. It's just that we all agree we're not going to grab this, right? That doesn't seem like something that had to be added to the rule book later on.
Football was savagery back then. I think it was more like we all agree we're going to grab that mask, right?
Everybody's algorithm is their algorithm. I understand. Mine has a very strong 1970s, 80s, 90s violent football collisions feed. You'd go to prison if you were doing that now.
It's like that. It's like that line. Remember in the original Longest Yard? I think I broke his effing neck.
I broke his freaking neck. Yeah, it's still awesome, but a little bit different. A couple of birthdays right here. Sean Paul. You guys might not have heard of him, but he turns 53 years old today.
That was good.
He turns 53. Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. 48 years old today. He's still around. Like, he's done a pretty good job of staying relevant long after being an NFL player.
Really good player.
He was
really good.
He was. And that I was going to say that's the last time the Bengals are good, but that was one of those moments where
Palmer, Hushmanzada, Chad Johnson, and what's his name, the running back, Rudy Johnson.
Woo. That was a really good team.
They were good.
They were a very, very good team. 1972. This date in 1972, the Milwaukee Bucks, led by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, defeated the Lakers 120-104, which ended 33 games in a row of the Los Angeles. That is one of those records that I am fairly certain is going to stand, if not forever, long after I've checked out of this universe.
It's like somewhere between a third to a half of your season in a row.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Injuries, bad luck, bad night. Opponent has a crazy, crazy night where they don't miss, any sort of meaningful shots. It defies mathematics to win that. And I get it. They had an incredible team, but that just doesn't make any sense.
Well, also, too, back then, before the three-point line became a thing, I feel like there were fewer crazy shots, like random shots that the three-point line introduced to us.
True.
Like, no lead now in the NBA truly feels safe because of that. Be interesting to see how. Obviously, you can never go back in time, but if you could somehow go to Earth 2, where there was a three-point line in 1972, that would be interesting.
No, it changed everything. Like you said, that a 15-point lead with no two-point shot, game's over.
Yeah,
it was very difficult to get back into it.
Indiana just scored again.
They did. This is a wrap. It's about to be 28-7 before the half. Laura, you will get this. So, DeAndre, if I said to you, "Where's the beef?" Do you know what that is?
What's that?
Where's the beef? Like that. What if I said it like that? Where's the beef? Imagine me as a super old lady, and I'm screaming at you. Where's the beef? Nothing?
That sounds like something on a commercial.
It was.
Okay.
Wendy's had a commercial campaign where Carla Preller debuted today on this day in 1984, dressed as a grandmother. Where's the beef? Because Wendy's had beefier burgers, and they were asking, Lord, do you know where's the beef?
I've seen it, but not like I've seen it come up on.
But you're not old enough to have experienced.
Yeah, this old lady would go to different fast food restaurants dissatisfied with their lack of beef.
Yes.
So she would say, "Where's the beef?"
And I believe Ronald Reagan, or maybe it was George Bush, like one of his campaign slogans while he was running for president was, "Where's the beef?" Like, your economic program did not have any beef in it. It was a thing for a very long time.
What a time to be alive.
All right, I'm assuming Carla Preller is no longer with us.
Let's not kill her just yet.
She felt like she was getting close back in 1984. So let's see. What do you got?
I'm looking right now.
I'm going to guess
Clara.
She checked out in 1997. That's my
Is
my
she
over.
still alive?
That's what Andy's looking.
I cannot track it down. Though.
2007, the Apple iPhone was unveiled.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Carla Preller died in 2007.
No.
She got way on the over. Lakers are coming up next. Beto's got the pregame show, and then Lakers-Bucks coming up right after that. We'll see you on Monday. Go Rams.
John Ireland here for Blue Ice Huckleberry Vodka, crafted with real mountain huckleberries, Idaho State fruit. Think blueberries, but richer. Try pairing it with lemonade. So refreshing. Blue Ice Vodka, because taste matters.
For a century, the Genesis Invitational has stood as one of golf's greatest stages, where the game's legends make their mark